All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Broadway Hit Points. We are here again for session 3 of the GaienBerr campaign after having a very exciting session 1 and 2. The last thing that happened was we were in Onbeto Town. Before we begin, I'll let everyone introducing themselves, starting with Bart the Basher.
Yo, I'm Bart the Basher. I'm Keith. The other way around. You know what I mean.
And Colker Dirkwood.
Hi, Seth. I play Colker Dirkwood. Colker Dirtwood. I can talk.
And let's go to Magister Thalia.
Hello, I am Morgan, and I am Magister Thalia, an elf bard fighter.
Zink Gadinka is going to be coming in later, and Magister Thalia is stepping in for Herbert Dankweed, and as always, we'll have a surprising PC joining us at some point in the adventure. So, when we last left, we were outside Adventurers Hall here in Onbeto Town. The battle had just happened with the insanity mist potion that you discovered, and now there are bodies littering the ground outside Adventurers Hall as the last light of dusk gives way to the blackness of a star-filled sky. Since tomorrow is a new moon, only a speck of Proserpina shines in the nearly moonless sky. This is, of course, the elven moon where the elves lived and where the elven race came from. Malachite, Theseus, and Pufflion, who fought with you, as well as Herbert Dankweed, walk out. Pufflion is levitating the corpse of Reverend Amber.
Wait, so when do we get our prizes? We're supposed to get cake and prizes, right?
Yeah, well, so, sort of. We must first, deal with the aftermath of this before moving on to Khorasad's.
We didn't come here to clean.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I wouldn't trust him with cleaning anyway, but...
I have a very creative cleaning style. It involves my catastrophe skeleton smasher and bodies.
Malachite says, I bear some responsibility for this. I will stay behind and clean up this. The elven guards have already taken many caravans of townspeople to Khorasad's as refugees, and I'll stay here and burn the bodies. And
oh, wait, no, I have an idea. Remember I put those gooey things on the smasher that teleport people away? I can just clean up that way. Here, I'm being helpful. I'm Bart the Basher. So I'm going to go running around and teleport all the bodies somewhere else.
Okay, so you're going to try to use the shard of the catastrophe to hit the bodies. So when you go and hit the first body, let's see you roll a d20 for me, please.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, guys. It's very important.
I must say, I've heard worse ideas.
Right? I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be playing above my intelligence right now. 18.
18. So, all right, let's see what happens.
So it's a 22 with my advantages for body smashing.
Okay. When you roll an 18, instead of the body teleporting away, a giant phoenix appears from a burst of fire. It sort of stretches its wings in the air, and there's flames coming off of it, and it sort of squawks and looks at you with very sort of angry eyes.
Mom?
Well, I suppose we're getting a head start on building a pyre for the bodies with this fiery bird you've just created. What?
I'd just like to repeat for everyone in earshot that I had nothing to do with this.
Oh, that's true. All right. So the teleporting thing won't work, but we can save a lot of time if we just burn the whole building down. We don't have to move the bodies.
This is still a town that needs to be rebuilt in some way. No, rebuilt. Just because you aren't going to live here doesn't mean that people don't need Adventurers Hall anymore.
This is a metaphor. It's supposed to burn before it rises again. So maybe we should burn the entire town.
Bart, maybe not.
This phoenix is gargantuan, by the way. Just to put this in mind, this is a gargantuan beast, and it does not seem happy to have been sucked out of whatever realm of existence it lived in.
I'd like to hug it and make it feel better.
As you approach it, you take, let's see, you get close, and that's going to be 6 points of fire damage that burns you.
Sometimes love hurts.
You have not healed yourself. You did advance to level 3, and you sort of filled out in form, but you have not taken a rest or any healing, so you're now 5 of 37 hit points.
Your point.
No, I'm just stating the facts, so you understand the situation you're in right now.
Numbers guy, Wes.
Well, all right. You are on fire and scorched, and you're beginning to think that maybe that catastrophe shard might work differently than you had first presumed.
I guess I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna cast creator. I'm gonna cast create water right over him to put him out, to put the fire out. Right above Bart, not the Phoenix.
Good.
To just, douse the flames covering Bart, but also soak him. Out of spite.
Soak some sense into him.
While you're doing that, Malachite, the dwarf with the mohawk, says, "You're crazy, you people! Sir Tankweed, since you slept through the fight, and it seems you need more training. You clearly need to learn how to use that boomerang you're so fond of. Come with me. You can help us clean up the bodies." And they sort of walk away into this night towards the dungeon survival train. Theseus looks at you and says, "You are going to die of stupidity someday. You're not deserving of an elven heritage."
Yeah, because I'm not lame. I'm cool. I'm not stupid, uptight elves.
He says, "I can walk fine. I am not lame either."
Well, you're stupid too. Dumb person.
I think it best that we get moving to Croissants sooner rather than later. I don't think that yep, we got to figure out what to do with this Phoenix.
That's where the cake and prizes are, right? Yeah, let's go there.
Yes, Bart, yes. Cake, prizes. First you have to deal with your Phoenix.
He seems fine. He didn't want a hug.
He's made of fire, and his fiery talons are sort of clicking on the ground, and you think at any moment he might reach out and destroy you.
Oh,
Well,
good.
Let's go away then.
I say we as long as they're all settled here and have the extra hands of Dankweed, then we might as well get on our way. Considering the poor state that Bart is in, being wet and burnt.
You're welcome for the Phoenix Town.
Theseus says, "I will stay too. Someone needs to support the elven name here." And Pufflion says, I'll stay as well. I think I saw a spell for create wind, and I could use it to blow the mist of insanity away. So I'll stay and help too. And I'd really like to get my vineyard going again. Remember, Lion's Red, the best wine in all of GaienBerr.
I'll have some. I'll take it.
We would all be all the better, Pufflion, for more of your wine.
He says, I think I might have an extra bottle in Adventurous Hall if I could just get past the dead bodies. Would you like it?
Yes.
He goes back
Surrounded by an idiot.
into the hall.
Your legs.
And when he comes back out, he gives you a bottle of red wine. There's some gore and maybe some brain matter on it, but other than that, it looks good.
Flavoring.
Protein.
Yeah, I'd drink that right away.
So sun has set. It is dark now. Are you guys making your way straight towards Coruscant?
I say we go in the morning.
What cake?
I for one could use a rest. Bart could probably use to sleep off that wine he just drank.
Yeah, if we've got if any of the tents are still in good standing, then maybe we can.
Well, I bet a lot of people died, so their houses are open.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody's family is fully dead. Let's go.
Oh,
I
great.
hate to say this, but he does have a point.
No, certainly there is much more room than there once was. So let's go ahead and find a spot to crash for the night.
Yeah, you guys go. It looks like most of the town has gone away, moved out. And you would know, Thalia, you helped battling them to send several caravans out. And when they were fighting the goblins in Adventurers Hall, that allowed even more people to escape. And the last caravan left sometime during your battle, so not too long ago. You find a tent and you sleep. Let's all take a long rest.
Yeah.
When you awaken the next day, you would know that it is now the beginning of a new week, of which there is a new moon. All the 5-day weeks in GaienBerr are based on the cycles of the moon. And that this day is the holiday of the anniversary of the wedding between Queen Unisaur and Prince Galen. So you awake on this day, feeling bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and you begin to make your way towards Croissants. Are you walking there?
How far is it?
It's about, say, 30 miles, 40 miles. So you could do it, but it would take you, for sure, all day if you were walking.
Do we have other options?
Can we ride the Phoenix?
Can we ride Bart?
The Phoenix flew away during the night. As you left it,
good.
the Phoenix left, and you don't know where it is now.
Anyone renting a horse around here?
You would remember, and you would know, Magisthalia, that Hippolyta had some horses in her stable. She sold them. You can go check and see if there are any there. Yeah?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think as long as we've got something at least to carry some of our stuff, perhaps.
As you move up, it looks like all of the prime horses have been taken, but she left behind some sort of weak, poor mares.
Well, I'm pretty small, so I guess I'll hop on one of those.
It clearly says they have hippopotamus horses. Okay, why don't we get those?
Oh, so close, so close. We can at the very least use some of these to carry some of our heavier things. Perhaps that huge, what do you call it? Skeleton smasher?
Catastrophe skeleton smasher.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
certainly we
you and
can
your
use that.
apostrophe.
Nope. I might need to smash things though. So I have to carry it. We'll put the boring stuff like the money.
Perfect. On the thing that can run away. Yeah.
What about your bottle of wine?
Oh, I already drank it. That's long gone.
Okay, good.
He chugged that thing first chance he got.
Oh no, please! That thing's toast.
Well, all of that gives you a little advantage in fighting. So I'll say that you move a little bit quicker. That your travel time is slightly reduced, rather than taking most of the day. You'll get there in the late afternoon. As you make your way down the road towards Khorassad, I'll show you on the map here. We can see sort of what it looks like. The first thing that happens is you're going to leave the town of Onbeto, and you're going to walk through these sort of hills. There's no danger as you go through the hills. Again, a lot of them are still a wasteland from the battle that raged here during the 40 Years' War. And then you get into a forest, and then there'll be a mountain pass as you reach up to Khorassad, which is high up in the mountains. In the forest, you begin to come upon a group of 3 men that you find yourself in front of on the road to Khorassad. You come down this path, and they're sitting on a stump. In front of them are about 40 refugees, and lots of wagons that have people in it. People seem to have camped out from the night, and you would recognize this as the group that left during the battle, Magistrate Thalia. So these
cowards.
Yeah, let's bash them.
Well, in fairness, a lot of these are townspeople with no real training in adventuring or fighting.
Lame.
These three people sitting on this log have a long spiked metal chain across the road. And there's a dwarf in sort of brightly colored strips of metal armor attached to leather backing, talking to one of them. You can see that he is speaking to one of the people that you had met in town before. This is Dr. Root, and Hippolyta is also there with all of her nice horses. She says, "This is highway robbery, what you are doing. Why so much?" He says, "Look, you want to get by, you gotta pay Orlakino." You notice it's sort of a harlequin pattern on his clothes. He has a long sword in his lap, and he says, "It costs a toll to travel this road. 1 gold piece per passenger." Next to him are 2 elves. One who is juggling several knives that are sort of gleaming in the air, and the other, a sort of strong man with a goatee who has a giant mithril hoop that he's casually spinning.
Oh.
What?
This feels like a kind of a bashy situation, don't you think?
When you say he's spinning it, do you mean he's like spinning it around his arm, or like a hula hoop, or?
It looks like a large hula hoop that's on the ground that he's sort of turning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you sort of hear this conversation. Dr. Root is saying, these people, they don't have any money. They make 1 silver piece per fortnight for their wages, and I need the money I have to set up a new life. And Hippolyta, who's holding the horses, says, "Yes, we're trying to make a new world. I can't pay for them all."
I think I would rush right up to Dr. Root and Hippolyta and see what they need from me. Ask them to explain the situation.
Doctor says, we've been here all night. They would not let us pass. He says that they're asking for 42 gold pieces because we have 40 commoners and there's me and Hippolyta. And he also wants a joke. And the man says, "Yes, that's right. A toll is a gold piece for each person and a joke for every 10. And it better be funny."
Oh, I see what's going on here. West, how much money do I have? Do you think?
Magister Thalia has, I would say on you have about 100 gold pieces.
Okay. I think I would go back to Bart and Kolker.
I got this.
No, I don't know that you do. I can pay their way, but they are requesting jokes. It's some sort of,
Mean.
Sorry?
But they're mean.
Well, they haven't thrown any blows. They haven't done anything
We'll tell some
violent.
jokes.
Perhaps this time we try to work things out with our minds. Do you have any jokes? You both seem like you've lived quite exciting, thrilling lives.
So 3 dwarves walk into a bar, and the first dwarf says, "I got nothing."
That's hilarious!
All right.
Orlakino says, "That's not funny!"
I'm a dancer, not a comedian.
Guys, I go up to them, I'm like, "Look, I'm on a hunt for skeletons. And if you stand in the way, I will look for them inside your body."
It's actually not bad for Bart.
He says, "Was that the joke?"
No, you're the joke.
Yeah, what he said.
As you say,
Hilarious Fred said.
as you say that, 2 arrows from somewhere in the trees land at your feet. You don't know who sent them. You can't see who did it, but they sort of come right in at your feet.
Thanks for the free arrows, but that's not going to help me find the skeletons.
The joke wasn't that bad, was it?
He says,
Are those guys with you?
"We have friends. We are the toll collectors, and you gotta pay the ringmaster."
I feel like you're mixing your metaphors here. Are you toll collectors or are you circus folk?
There's a lot of layers here.
I can see that.
They look at each other and they confer for a moment. They sort of talk amongst themselves, and then they come back at you and they say, "Look, we are the toll collectors, but don't think we're just here to be entertaining. We are deadly as well. My friend Milo..."
Okay, so now you're toll collectors, circus folk, and killers?
Pick a lane, guys. Pick a lane.
Yes, with triple
We can't
threats.
multi-class. Why can you?
That's true. Wes won't even let me smash with 2 things at a time, so I have to smash you slower.
I think as this is going on, Magister Thalia is like gathering all of the refugees to the side and sort of getting them into maybe a safe distance from whatever the hell is about to happen, calming people's worries.
We aren't here to fight. Well, I'm not here to fight. He's probably here to fight. But I just want to know what your deal is.
Roll. What are you trying to intimidate them, or are you asking them sincerely?
I'm legitimately asking them what their deal is. I'm a half-one. I'm not very intimidating.
Roll a.
With these guys.
Yeah.
I'll walk up behind Kolker and look real intimidating in like my elven plate armor and give him a help action maybe.
Okay, Kolker, why don't you roll a charisma check, and Thalia, why don't you roll an intimidation check and tell me what you get.
Sure.
9. 7 plus 2.
Okay.
Oh, that's 18.
Okay. The lead guy, Orlakino, motions to you and draws you close. And he says, "You, halfling."
Yes, me, halfling. You, ringmaster?
No, I am not the ringmaster. I'm Orlakino. I'm but the boss of this little
me,
gang.
halfling, you, Orlakino. Who,
Yeah.
ringmaster?
He says, "You know, you worked for Pucknut, didn't you?"
Pucknut.
I don't know. I've never heard that name before.
Yeah, Pucknut, the drug dealer in Ban. I recognize you. You were one of those guys who was delivering his numroot stash.
Numroot.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what numroot is.
I assure you, sir, this sweet halfling has nothing to do with that scourge. And I would watch myself before making any more accusations when in the presence of a magister.
And Bart Smasher.
He says, last chance.
Bart.
Pay the money or suffer the consequences.
You haven't actually told us what the consequences are. I'd like to know what the consequences are so we can decide whether we're going to pay the money.
He says, well, you can give it to me now, or me and my friends can take it off your dead bodies.
I can get out a coin purse of about 10 gold pieces less than he's asking for and sort of jingle it up and say, for wasting our time and for getting in our way, I'll give you some of this, but not quite all. I think it's in your best interest to get this chain out of the way and to let these refugees move on towards their new lives, sir. And then I throw it at his feet.
I bashed the chain.
God!
Wait, what do you bash it
Bart!
with?
We're waiting on the bashing.
Well, Well, I finally realized the chain is the problem slowing up this thing, so I bash it into the woods.
Do you bash it with your catastrophe shard?
Duh.
Roll a d20.
5.
I.
All right, 5 is pretty good. As you bash it, a tentacle shoots out of the catastrophe shard and hits the chain, doing several points of damage, and the chain sort of shatters at the piece. The guy who was juggling the daggers, suddenly the 3 daggers go away, and the bag that you dropped at his feet is immediately grabbed and hidden, and he says, "Feel free to pass!"
We have such
Great.
good timing.
I fixed it.
I want to stand right up in his mug as everyone passes him, just to make sure he's not going to do anything funny. I want to get, like, real close.
As you go by, you hear the man with the large hoop say, "The ringmaster will hear about this."
I'm sure he will, and it'll be a fun little tale for your little campfire stories, I'm sure.
Super famous now.
Yeah, Bart, there we go. Getting you in some stories.
Where's the cake?
You continue forward through the mountains. By about 5 p.m., you arrive into Khorasad's. As you get there, the first thing that's going to happen is that you realize around it is this sort of large, blue, shining sort of barrier. You would have known about this having lived there, Bart, and you'd probably heard about it, Kolker. And Thalia, you've been through it, so you've seen it before. And you would know that this is a sort of barrier that's run by the center, from the center of town, and is a magical barrier that keeps out any non-humanoid monsters. So goblins and orcs cannot penetrate it. As you get up to it, there's a line of people. The refugees all come in. They're all told that they have to go to this refugee camp that's been set up in the southern part of town, south of the river. Bart, a friend of yours, Homer,
Hi, Homer.
is at that sort of gate, and he sees him coming in, and he says, "Oh, you're back, Bart! Oh, Bart the Basher, doing any pit fighting lately?"
Oh! Yeah, I've been bashing lots of stuff. I found some skeletons, but I want more. Do you have the cake?
The cake, you mean for your... Bart, we served together. We were guards here defending the city. You and me.
Yeah, no, I remember. Do you have the cake?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have cake, but, maybe down at Triton Hall where the people who, where you did your pit fighting, I'm sure down there Achilles who trained you must have something for you if you wanted that sort of thing.
Okay.
Go on in. Be careful. There's refugees all throughout town.
They're my friends. I'm famous. Did you know?
I mean, a little less famous since you stopped fighting.
No, I just tentacled a chain. They said they'd talk about it.
Who did?
I did.
Oh, way to go, Bart! As you leave, you hear Homer say, "Don't!" and sort of watches you pass.
That guy's crazy.
You guys move into town. You go past the inn, the Hungry Bowman, where Bart, you used to gamble in there. You see the bakery on the side. The sort of Commonson market is busy, and there are crowds everywhere right now. It's just as busy as it can be. You even heard Khorasad's before you saw it. The sound of rushing water mingles with these thousands of voices cheering and singing to these magically amplified musical instruments. When you arrive closer and you pass the fork in the road leading to Abepo, going north of the city, when you went into the city, you see these brightly colored banners hanging from that inn, the Hungry Bowman. This is the largest inn of town, the neighborhood you would know of Sodswords. This is the bustling commercial district of Coruscant. A stage has been erected between the Hungry Bowmen and the Tricera Academy of Alchemy, where your friend Zinkadinka got expelled from. And nearly 1,000 people have gathered and are singing along with a bard with blue eyes and light skin. This bard is a Triton. You would see that this Triton is performing and singing a song. With that, I am going to introduce our special guest for today. So, joining us, we have the Triton Bard. Let me get rid of this. The Triton Bard, Flotsam.
Come sit if you've an ear to spare. Come young and old, grotesque and fair. Oh, park your wagon and pour a flagon and hear the tale of GaienBerr, of GaienBerr. Twixt elf and dwarf the lines were drawn, from year to year they battled on. Through towns they scattered, and blood they spattered, a night that seemed to have no dawn, to have no dawn. Then enter good Queen Unisaur, who snares a prisoner of war, but treats Prince Galen to meats and ale, and they turn to friends and maybe more, and maybe more. The dwarven house were quite distraught. They'd lost their youngest son, they thought. Pure stupefaction was their reaction, that prince and queen have tied the knot, have tied the knot. A pity 'twas a secret thing, for of this wedding all should sing. The full moon shining, their hearts entwining, now bound to her he wears her ring. He wears her ring. Prince Galen then, you know the rest, beheads the king at her behest. No gladder tidings of patricidings could echo o'er this land so blessed, this land so blessed. Now 4 years on.
How many verses does this song have?
This is the final verse.
Okay.
Oh my God, Coker.
Many of the people around you boo to Coker. They're like, shh, I'm listening.
We toast their love and all the side effects thereof. So let your rebels hit all the levels, from caves below to moon above, to moon above. Thank you very much, except to you, sir.
Play Free Dragon!
Bart removes whatever I would consider my underthings and throw it at the stage.
Oh, no.
Yes, that was awesome! He talked about beheadings. I'm in love.
That was quite rousing indeed. I think I'd shoot another dirty look to Colker. What? You didn't enjoy it? You didn't like it? Wasn't good enough for you?
It went on a bit.
Oh my goodness!
Could've
It's
used
clear
the-
you've never heard a classic
Could have used the
GaienBerr.
B section somewhere.
Hey, fish guy, do you like cake? I got cake as a prize. We could have some.
Bart, I think it's time we have a conversation about this cake. I think I've said it quite a few times, in fact.
Really big and delicious, and I can share it with my new musician friend.
I think I look at the Bard and go, Do you know of any cake around here? Is there any cake?
Oh, I think we lost your mic there for a second, Flotsam.
Oh no.
Oh, there you are. You're back.
Oh,
you're
there
back.
you
You're
go.
back. You're back.
Oh, good. Well, yes, I've had some difficulties. Cake. The food. Cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Come
I-
on,
I
fish
mean,
guy.
it's-
Let's go get some cake.
It's a celebration. They have, I presume, all manner of foodstuffs.
So I want my cake prize. I don't want just regular cake. I want the cake that I'm due for teleporting. I don't know, skeletons. I forget.
Yeah, Bart. We'll get you that. That's what he's talking about. We'll get it for you. It's waiting somewhere. We'll find it.
I'm so sorry. I must just interject. Technically, that is not what I'm talking about. I don't have the slightest idea what he's going on about. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to be rude.
I'm gonna cast the message cantrip and on the Bard and just be like, just go with it, man. Please, it's gonna make it a lot easier if you just tell him the cake is for him.
Do you want to tell us?
Cake.
Do you want to tell us what this Triton looks like?
Oh yeah.
A rock
Flotsam.
god.
Let me store my instrument very very quickly.
Yeah, the crowd went crazy, by the way, and now they are sort of breaking up as the concert has ended, and they're going to, get brew from the Braumeisters and sweetbreads and cake and things like that.
Cake. So, rhymed patricide. I really liked it.
Oh well. Thank you. Yes. So
My
this.
love for it could not be denied.
You actually write patriciding with tidings.
Oh,
Well, that's quite a bit of attention to detail from someone who did not enjoy himself.
yeah.
I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy myself. I just think the song was I just think the song was a
Interesting
little
that
long to just be
all the
one.
critics seem to, in fact, you spend all your time railing against, your supposed enemies, and yet you just seem to be obsessed. It's typical.
I just
Stan
thought it was a
behavior.
little long to go without a B section.
Shut up, Colt fart, dirt fart.
Good one, Bart.
Come on, Coker Fartwood is right there. Fart the Basher.
Patricide. Ha!
So what do you look like again, Flotsam?
Flotsam is kind of on the smallish sort of a little bit unassuming looking side. I think kind of, if you a little turtleish perhaps, kind of maybe looks like he doesn't get a lot of sun. He's obviously spending a lot of time in his mom's basement, listening to bardic concept pieces on wax cylinders on the phono table. So,
Look, I've already invited you to eat cake, man. Like you don't need to do the hard sell.
It's even. I think it's even more impressive how well that song went with your little turtle arms that you could play the lyre.
Well, the lyre, it's a small size, it's a half size lyre, but just the scale has to be shortened. Actually, it's of my own design.
Oh wow.
I fancy myself something of a luthier.
I don't know what that is, but I'm willing to try anything.
That's a wonderful spirit, although I imagine you might find it a difficult pursuit. I don't mean to presume, having known you all of 5 minutes, but good for you for wanting to try.
I can do anything. Look at my stick. I bash things with it.
Ooh. Noted.
A crowd, this, as far as you can see now, this place is getting packed, and a crowd down the way sort of pushes you down the bridge. So you move past the market and past the blacksmith, and you get kind of pushed down into the wealthier area of town. All the places here are surrounded by hedges, and you go past the temple to Corellian, the Elvish temple. You would know that there's a temple to a magician here. There's the Academy of Witchcraft in this area. The Helios Bank is in this area. And at the end of it is this palace, this elven palace built into a tree. Two huge golden roots make staircases that go up to it around a fountain. As you're standing there, pushed in the crowd and looking this, and night has fallen by this point. It's a moonless night because, of course, it's the new moon, and you see fireworks shoot out of the tops of the trees to the north, up here where the Appletosh's School for Druids is. As you are in this town, this part of town with all the stately manor homes, you hear someone say, "Greetings, citizens," and this voice surrounds you, sounds all about you. You can't locate the source of this sound, which is especially worrisome to you, Bart, until you realized that someone has been magically enhanced and amplified to have this directionless sound. Looking up, you see this tall elf with silver hair and a purple gown and a tattoo across her face. It is the same symbol that Magistrate Thalia has on her armor, a red triangle with a white circle, silver circle inside. She says, "We gather today to celebrate not only the marriage of Queen Unisor and Prince Galen, but also the saving of Onbeto Town." People sort of ooh and ah, and you can tell that some people have heard about this, and you would even see around you some refugees. She says, "The forces of evil tried to sow chaos amongst us, but our union is too strong, and the orcs and goblins who attacked Onbeto were soundly defeated. Long live GaienBerr!"
Long live GaienBerr.
Long live GaienBerr?
Yes, yeah. I sort of motion for them to do
Long live
whatever.
GaienBerr!
Yep.
Cake.
The most of the crowd shouts, and the entire wood starts to quake with the power of tens of thousands of voices screaming passionately. The silver-haired elf quiets everyone and says, "As your Duchess, it is my honor to introduce you to some of the heroes from that battle. It seems like a golden light illuminates you while the rest of the town glows dim, and all heads turn your way, and all eyes are on you as well. These men and women fought for GaienBerr and held Onbeto against an evil horde. Let's take a moment to applaud their bravery."
Await me. Ha!
The entire town starts clapping and cheering for you.
I killed skeletons.
Yes,
think-
you did, Bart.
Play it cool, guys. Just play it cool. This is a yeah.
Does anybody want to see what the stick can do? What?
I very
wanna
much
see
would.
a catastrophe? I can do one.
Not a good idea, Bart.
I don't know. They're all clapping. Everybody, clap if you want to see the catastrophe do something.
Please don't clap.
Are they clapping?
Please don't clap.
I would say a good quarter of the crowd is clapping.
Yeah.
The rest are not clapping.
Oh right. What's sort of around me? Is there like a potted plant or a?
You're sort of in the middle of this area, right in front of the fountain, right north of Elitzen Market.
Oh, then I'll catastrophe the fountain.
You run to the fountain and bring it down on it?
Yeah.
All right. First, tell me what you get on your attack roll.
4.
And now roll a 4. Thank God. And now roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
17.
Magister Thalia is just trying to get out of the light with them, just any way possible.
As you
Follow spot. It's gonna follow you wherever you go.
As you bring it down into the water, a sort of creature appears floating in the air. It looks like a jellyfish, and it's got little legs, and it's kind of floating above you. It's this cute little levitating jellyfish creature.
I do a giant ostentatious bow. You're welcome, GaienBerr, or whatever this place is called.
The lights immediately go out on you. And as the lights go out, this cute little creature with sort of long eyes on tentacles looking at you, and sort of blue little tentacly arms all over floating in the air, sprays a 15-foot cone of this smell-felling liquid. It really is going to give you a horrible stench, Bart the Basher, for 4 hours that you're not going to be able to get rid of.
Horrible isn't the nose of the beholder.
It's really bad. It smells like a skunk had asparagus.
The rest of us have to smell this too.
Yes, everyone smells it.
It's gonna be a hard one to explain away.
I'll give
God
him
damn
a
it, Bart.
And-
God damn it, Bart.
All the people move away from you, and
God damn it, Bart.
the Duchess is very worried and says, "Enjoy this celebration," and then sort of walks away, and magically music springs up again around all of you.
God damn it, Bart.
Listen, Bart, I hate to break it to you, but that little stunt that you just pulled is going to cost you your cake. I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to... Yeah, we're going to have to... Listen, you didn't play nice. You brought a jellyfish that pissed disgusting juice all over you. You don't get cake anymore.
They wanted to see it. They clapped.
Oh, God. All right, bud. All right.
Jellyfish is nice. Maybe it's a good smell.
I think we need to go talk to...
It's more
What,
of an umami sort of a smell. Like it's
Of an umami sort of a smell.
yeah, you know.
It's a smell with mouthfeel. Gross. I can't even begin to explain to you how gross that is for the rest of us.
It starts to have a mouthfeel.
Oh, okay. Magister Thalia is going to start walking to wherever we need to go next to get this, to get them their armor.
You see a guard that you would recognize, and he says, "Oh yes, the Order of Von Beto." And the guard, he claps your hand and says, "The Duchess has been waiting to give it to you herself." As you get to the door, though, he says, "What is that smell?"
I just sort of
It's my
gesture at Bart.
it's my new jellyfish friend. Gave me perfume.
Is the jellyfish still there, or did it like explode?
No, it sort of flew off into the trees of the village.
This is like the episode of 1,000 Familiars for Bart.
See, I've got so many friends.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all him, though. So,
Do you
Just-
have a cake?
He
Poor
says,
buddy.
Can he take a bath or something?" He actually he says, please feel free to use our are changing rooms, and he sort of ushers you into a room where there are decanters of endless water flowing, just like there were in Adventurers Hall.
Ooh. Neat.
Okay.
There you go.
Is anybody thirsty?
While you're in there, I'm going to take Thalia, and the guard says, "Oh, Angler, perfect. All of you are here." And Kolker out up the main. We'll check in with you back in a second in the bathroom bar. Up the main way there. You
Got kicked off the podcast.
you come in to Duchess Daphne. It's this big room with her seated on a throne, and she says, "I'm so honored that you have saved the town. Please bestow them on their armor." And you, Kolker, are given this sort of elven mail armor with the sign of GaienBerr, the triangle with the circle inside.
Does it fit me though, or is it made for an elf?
No, this is made halfling size. They have been told of who you are in advance.
Nice.
And says this will give you a +3. This will help you on a bonus anytime you're dealing with any elves or elf allies or anyone who believes in GaienBerr. They will immediately regard you with respect.
Does it affect my armor class?
It will, yes. Elven Chain will help you. She also says, to each of you, you will have 10 gold pieces per 5 day, and here is your first payment. And she gives some to you, Kolker. Now let's check back in with Bart for just a second. Bart, what's happening in the bathroom with the decanter of endless water?
Well, I've been watching this water. I kind of have to pee now. It just keeps going and going.
There is something that looks like a bedpan with a hole in it that also has a decanter of endless water running into it.
Nice.
And
was it some sort of implication I was supposed to be doing something with this water? Or?
No. Have you bathed yourself?
What?
Have you bathed yourself?
What?
Okay, great. Let's jump back for a second, and then we'll check back in just a moment. Duchess Daphne says, I thought there were more of you, Kolker, looking at the halfling druid.
There were. One is off showering, and one turned out to kind of suck at what he did. And I'm really not sure where the other one went. So now there's me, and there's Bart, who's the one who's off showering because he's an idiot. And Herb is the one who got taken away because he apparently just wasn't good enough. We didn't really get a say in the matter. He was
taking a nap while people were being slaughtered.
Yeah, you're supposed
This is true.
That's happening.
And
I don't know where Zinc went.
The Duchess looks at Thalia and says, "Did these people actually save on Beto Town?"
Yes. I understand your tone of voice. Believe me. Wink. But yes.
Did you wink or did you say wink?
A little bit of both. Whatever.
Did you give her bardic inspiration?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
She says, "Well, I have another challenge for you. I have heard that something occurred on Beto Town with a mist that drove people mad. The refugees have been talking about people destroying themselves. I would like
Yes, that was a thing.
Do you have any sense that it could be from a student at the Tricera Academy and Alchemy School?"
I can't remember. Did Zinc actually tell us that, or did we not hear it because that whole conversation happened in the silent room?
Zinc told you that upstairs.
Okay. Yes, that all sounds about right.
Could you?
News to me.
Yes. Do you want to say
you
anything?
weren't there when we were in the silent room and all that jazz.
Yes, excellent. That's good information.
She says, I would love for you to go out and investigate the academy and see if you can find any other information on this, how it's produced, if someone there made it, who they're working with. This would be a quest of espionage. There are very powerful people and defenses there, but if you think you could go in and quietly and secretly find out, you would be very indebted to us.
I'm certainly willing to help with this. Kolker, how do you feel? I mean, you technically are relieved of your duties after getting your red rune armor.
Yeah, but espionage. I'll be an international super spy!
Super spy! Yeah. And certainly, I guess I turn to Flotsam again. Certainly, you are more than welcome to come along if that's something that is of any interest to you. I know that we technically may not have gotten off on the best of feet, but...
I've been... I look up from my notes. I've been furiously scribbling. And I say, when is the interesting one of you coming back? Because he seemed like
interesting.
So
the one who does deeds worthy of song and such.
Well, the one covered in jellyfish piss? Yeah, he's in...
The one who hits things and has no working brain?
Not every deed can be worthy of song, but
You just like it because he liked your song and didn't critique it.
He's in the bathroom.
So did
right now.
thousands of people who cheered for me.
I never said I didn't like the song. I just thought it was a little long to go on without a B section.
You know, and of course, interesting that you would be critical of me transcribing his mishap with the jellyfish when in fact, I would think you would want some variety in this, operatic.
I mean, is it going to be in the same,
a little bit of a comic number?
Is it going to be the same rhyme scheme?
I don't.
The same meter? Just vary it up a bit, dude.
Let me hear. Where's your hit wax cylinders? Let me. What ones have you released?
I'm not a singer, unfortunately. I'm a dancer.
Oh, you're not.
You're a dancer? No,
interesting.
wait. I'm sorry, Kolker. You're a dancer?
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, I mentioned this. I grew up in a dance hall, pretty much.
How often do you vary your footwork?
Oh, by the way, Bart has apparently entered the room. Bart,
bored. Timeout's boring.
Bart
thank God.
flung open the doors and sort of said this from behind, and all the guards go, "What is that smell?"
Is he still not washed?
Did he at least put his clothes back on?
Wait, what?
Bart, are you... Yeah, did you you were meant to wash yourself.
We were supposed to be in the shower.
Water thing. It was really cool, and then I had to pee, and now I came out and I was bored.
Well, this is going to be a banger of a comic number.
The Duchess says, "Yes, thank you. I think it's time to leave the palace now." And you're sort of ushered out by guards. Yes. You see, as you go, Bart, you see sort of piles of cake in the room. There's little chocolates and wine, but they push you past the fondue machines, and you never even get to have it.
No!
I told you, Bart. I told you.
Dive into the fondue machine.
You try to go towards it?
I'm gonna dive into the fondue machine.
Roll a strength check for me.
It's gonna be fun, Bart.
Roll a strength check. Tell me what you get.
I need
Better than
diplomacy.
being Bart do.
Any social standing we all once had. Poof, baby. Poof, gone. Just like Puff. Puff the magic puff wizard. What?
What was that strength check?
14.
Yes, the guard fails to grapple you, and he tries to wrap his arms, but you break free and you jump into the fondue machine.
Thank you. I do deserve this.
I think I just look at Flotsam and go, that's just some great imagery for a future song.
Okay, so do I put on my red rum now?
Yo, yes, the 3 guards now come in and pick you up, from which you will be unable to escape the grapple, and move you outside. You are now covered in chocolate. You still have the stench of the flump on you, and you one of them sort of throws some elven chainmail at you as you go.
Woohoo!
Okay, so you're outside the castle now. Bart would have no idea what has transpired with Duchess Daphne, and what do you do?
If you hadn't been such a jerk, you might have gotten the armor that they had for you.
You mean the armor they just gave me, Fartwood?
They did just give him the armor.
I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry. It's the smell. It's overwhelming.
Well, here's
Making my eyes water.
It's umami.
It's
Again.
your mommy.
Ayo. Bart, how capable do you feel?
Yes.
Okay. We've been asked to investigate the alchemy school to sort of follow up about the noxious gas gas of madness that we had dealt with.
The noxious gas is coming from him.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. We could rival it.
Oh yeah, the anger smoke. That was delicious.
I just feel like if we're supposed to sneak in and find stuff, this horrible stench you have on you is going to make it a little hard to sneak around because they're going to smell you coming.
Well, then...
Chocolate. I picked some of the cake out of the chocolate. Taught me and ate it.
Yes,
I rolled around in cake and chocolate. I've got to be really delicious now.
It now tastes like a skunk turd that has been coated in chocolate.
Delicious! I love it I love the chocolate covered ones.
I think
It's like a John Waters film.
I think you have to do a constitution check on that.
All of us, or just him?
Well, he's the only one that ate it. I don't think anyone else is eating it. So,
Guys, this is divine.
I'm gonna say this is a DC. Let's say DC 11. What do you get?
I got a 6. That's my +2.
No, that makes you sick. You feel a bit of nausea, and that's going to give you 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh.
Which means you're gonna have disadvantage on your attack throws coming up. Okay, so while you're sort of groaning and your insides are rumbling from this, what are you guys gonna do for your espionage mission? Because if there's anything that says espionage, it's Bart the Basher and the Triton
If I have
Bard.
any spells that could do anything to get rid of this stench. And
Yes.
the closest thing I could do would be create bonfire and throw him in it.
A restoration spell would do it if you could have a lesser restoration.
I don't have any of those.
Store my delicious musk.
Listen, Bart, are showers just not your thing, or would you take a shower? If not, we can. I'm sure our Triton friend has some great local watering holes.
No, I'd be happy to take a shower.
I think we gotta, man. I think we have to.
Okay.
Before we go into stealth mode, unless I don't know. That's my gut feeling.
My gut feeling isn't good right now.
Oh.
And
yeah.
Flotsam, how are you reacting to all of this with these new people?
I have enough material for the current piece, so I feel that it sounds like to get on to the next adventure, probably needs to visit the public baths or just take a dip in any reasonable body of running water.
Well, there is a river that you can hear all around the town. There's one just south of you, and it also curves up over. And there is a bathhouse if you came down on the southern side of the river and went over to sort of the tent village and refugee camp. You could find one down there.
Well, I mean, certainly we can cross a bridge. You can swim through it, and I think we'll be
All right.
Where?
I will dive into the water.
And if we need to, we'll pay them extra to take you.
I'm going to dive into the water, scrub myself, and sing my favorite song. Patricide, patricide, patricide.
He really latches onto one word for quite some time, doesn't he?
He's not the smartest.
Oh, really?
But
This is his
wise in his
version of-
taste.
This is his version of object permanence.
What?
I normally would simply swim across any bridge channel, but I'm actually this time for no reason I'm going to go on foot with the two of you.
Okay.
Come on in, fish guy.
So, are you guys planning to go to the bathhouse?
No, I'm in the river.
If he's already in the river, I think that takes
Doesn't
care of
have
that.
Oh, so you're going across the bridge over to the Tricera Academy, yes?
I suppose so, yeah. To
All
sort
right.
of scope it out.
Yeah, so let me do Bart first, and then I'll come over to you guys. Bart, while you are in the river, you would notice, let's see, you would notice some little nipping around your feet, and you would look down to notice that a school of piranhas has formed about you.
Hey, guys, look, they're little mouthfishes.
No.
Okay. So, they now all bite you, and they turn into a feeding frenzy, which is successful. And this bite does 12 piercing damage to you.
What about my red rum armor? Factor in my red rum armor.
Your elven chain armor? Yes,
Yeah.
they got a 17. So, I did.
You said?
Yeah, 12 points of damage.
No. You know.
So,
I'm afraid of
what are you going to do? It's your move now.
Well, bash him.
So you're gonna use your spiked great club to bash them.
Skeleton smasher, yeah.
Your skeleton smasher, in the water, the swarm of piranha fish.
Well, how deep is the water around me?
Well, you're floating in it. It goes down about 8 to 10 feet.
Oh, okay. And how close am I to the shore?
You're right next. You just came right in. You're just a couple feet from the shore.
Well, then I'm going to swim back so I can stand up and then bash him.
And then just hit the water.
Yeah.
All right. You can get back there and you can take a bash. Why don't you? Are you using? Dare I ask the same thing that you have always used?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Go ahead, roll an attack. Tell me what happens.
Woo! 20, not natural.
Okay. A 20 does exactly what you wanted to. You hit them, and now roll a 1 through 20. Sorry.
1 through 20? Okay.
Yeah.
3.
3. Another tentacle shoots out, lashes into the water. This tentacle actually causes electricity over the entire water, and several of them float to the surface, and the rest of them go down into the water and disappear.
Guys, sushi! Wait, fish guy, you didn't know these guys. These weren't your friends, right?
Well, I am glad I chose to go on foot this time.
I'm going to eat some of the sushi.
As you guys go to investigate the alchemy school, so he's standing right here where he just came out. You guys went over the bridge. He's now clean and he doesn't smell anymore, and the chocolate is even gone in his new elven male armor.
And they have delicious sushi for everybody.
Is it delicious? Have you tried any?
I just did.
Oh, great.
Fishy.
Fishy, I would assume.
What you're going to see as you come out is that the Tricera Academy is bounded with a hedge around it. This hedge sort of blocks it from the southern side and the east side. At the edge of it, you can see a cliff face, which would be going to the sort of higher up lake. There's a waterfall to this lower section where Bart just was swimming in, and he'd have to swim through it if you wanted to get to the western side. There is a large oaken door, which is locked. The ceilings are about 30 feet high, and on the edge there is a large tower, and the tower rises to about 45 feet when you're looking at it from the front.
Tell me again, Coker and Bart, what you learned about this. You certainly got more information while you were in the mines about this. What is it? A student, professor, who was responsible.
Let me lay it all out for you.
Prelude. Okay.
Yeah, I'll lay it all out for you. Okay, this is a school for Triceratops, and teaches them how to be dinosaurs.
We are already not off to a great start with that. Coker, what did you learn?
This was all Zink's category.
Wait, because there was like a little wiener guy that I killed, right?
Sorry?
Yeah, he had like extra arms and stuff. He was.
But
Yes,
but I killed him.
you would remember that you would remember that there was an artificer that Zink knew from the school that was there, had mixed the potion, and it said he had done so on the orders of the sort of main professor of Tricera Academy, a man named Doc Chainmore.
Yeah, and
Was-
Zink
yes,
is
that.
the professor. Because so Zink's the professor, but sometimes she looks like Zink. And then I killed the.
It was the other way around. Actually, Zink is not the professor, but Zink
professor is Zink.
Zink was pretending to be the professor just to mess
Some sort of
multi-armed.
disguise magic.
Yes,
is what
I
I'm
guess.
assuming he's talking about. Okay.
Either that or Zink might have been a doppelganger. Tough to tell.
Oh, well, that would certainly be an interesting.
That's happened.
Turn
I
of
feel like
events.
that's happened before.
So we're dealing with a professor and a student that were both involved with this school that are responsible for this.
Yeah, I
this-
bashed the student.
So is one of them dead? Did you kill one? I don't understand what you mean by
Yes,
bashing.
that's
sometimes.
the little wiener guy he's talking about with
Yeah,
the multiple
winery
arms.
Yeah, I made him mush and I found a skeleton.
You keep saying little wiener, and I just
He was small.
Wiener,
okay.
not wiener, dirty mind.
I was look at Flotsam. I wasn't the only one who was hearing wiener, right? That was you
I-
too.
I'm struggling to. Is the wild man's information not correct?
I think that's a Freudian hearing.
It seems to me that he only ever gets the information right when it pertains
I
to
mean, look,
bashing.
Flotsam, when the legend becomes fact, print the legend.
Right. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Thank you for your wisdom. I don't know if it doesn't know what a strophic song is.
I know what a strophic song is. I just think it was a little long to be one.
interesting. Oh, okay, interesting.
Whoa. Fight.
Oh, I didn't know you had a stopwatch. Okay.
All right. Well, meanwhile, we're standing
That one,
outside.
It went on.
Oh my goodness!
My God, farter, dirt, fart. You're mean.
Listen, Bart. I never thought I would have said this, but how about we start scoping this place out since these two seem to have some sort of beef they want to talk about.
I
How
don't
do
want
you-
to talk about it. He keeps bringing it up.
All right, I think it might be best to sort of go around the perimeter. Maybe some of us take one side. We can meet back at the beginning, see what we can see, maybe, or go on the inside of the hedge, perhaps.
Let's do it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sort of see what we can see about the exterior before we go barging in and bashing anything.
So we're looking, not bashing. Is that what you're getting at?
I think so. It seems to be that we're just looking to gather information.
No bashing quite yet.
Well, Flotsam, do you have any sort of do you have any dealings with this school or with anyone in it? I would imagine as a bard, maybe you would have some
Well,
Trist.
that's a very good question. Do I have any dealings?
I don't think so. I think you spent most of your time over in Triton part of town, and you would know this, but it's pretty tough to get into it. You would know Doc Chainmore for sure. You would have seen him walking through the town. He has so many sort of mechanical contraptions built upon his body that he almost looks more. He almost looks like an engineering construct than a human, or at least half and half. Around the sort of side of his face, it's sort of mithril plated with this sort of special eye that gives him binocular vision. He has these feet that have almost wheels on them, so he can spin around very quickly. He has one extra prosthetic arm that comes over, so he's got sort of 3 arms that can do attacks like that. You would sort of see him walking around town, and he's a very unique-looking figure, and you would know that he's a member of the ruling council, so he's a very powerful person in town.
Oh yes, I certainly have an entry on him in my brainstorming page. Yet unwritten works.
I'm player knowledge. I'm wondering, Bart and Colker, did you end up taking the arms of the kid y'all killed? Did you take the arms? Do we have prosthetic arms somewhere?
I
don't think so. I'm pretty
Was
sure our
that-
hands were all full with taking the potions and the
I
potion
think
accessories.
Zink did.
Okay.
Unless Zink took
I
any of
would
them.
have tried to stick them to myself, so I think
Right.
she did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how do we want to proceed, gentlemen? What do we want to? We
Do you
can
guys
certainly
want me to be incognito? I'm a robot guy. I'm not bashing. I'm a robot. Does that
That's
help?
great.
I don't think
That's
they're
great.
Gonna
We can certainly sort of try to knock at the door and then sort of treat this as if we are
Kill everybody inside, then take.
well, maybe if this is what but not right away though. We could sort of pretend like this is a tour that I'm giving the new heroes in town of
I am
local. Yes, absolutely. And so we could take a tour. Does that sound fun?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Snacks.
What?
I feel like I'd be the most believable one here.
Believable one
As
as far as
someone
what?
wanting to take a tour of this engineering wizardry college.
Sure.
See the toys. Like these people are like made of toys.
Yeah. In a way, they are. Definitely.
Yeah. Toys.
So we could try to go in and just sort of actually interview them if that sounds
Let's do it.
better.
Hurrah.
And when it's time, I'll bash them all and kill them and turn them into.
We're gonna hold off on the bashing for just a while.
No, when it's the right time.
Yes, we only bash when someone's in the middle of a performance. That's the time that we choose.
According to yourself, you were almost done. You were not in the middle. You said yourself it was the last verse.
This is my favorite.
If
part.
only
because there have been a
I'd
lot
been
of
allowed
verses
to reach
before
it.
us.
If
Too many
only I'd been
verses
allowed
that
to
go
reach
without
it.
a B section.
Oh yeah.
I noticed the other 1,000 people in the crowd who cheered were much more patient than you. Maybe it's a you problem.
As you're saying that, one person goes by and says, "I love you, Flotsam!"
Yeah.
Thank you. Always nice to see a fan.
Don't you like B sections? No.
I
They-
think I'm going to.
In section soon, Fartwood.
I'll give you that one, bud. That was not bad. That was good.
This is why people like him, even when he smells.
I'm going to trust Bart's instincts on this. I think he's got some good timing based on recent events. But shall we? Bart, how do you feel? Should we do the tour thing?
Let's do it.
Great. I go up and knock on the door. I don't know.
All right. You knock on the door. Now it's about 11:30 at night. It's almost high midnight now, but this has been the anniversary celebration. So there are still people moving around. Most of them, it's a little lower now. The fireworks have gone off. The Duchess has addressed everyone. All the respectable people have gone to bed, but there are some people really enjoying their ale and wine out. And no one comes to the door but a gnome tinkerer with sort of bright red hair, and sort of bounding up the way you would see Zinc jumps, comes up, and she says, what are you trying to do? You're trying to get into the... You're not allowed in here unless you're an artificer initiate.
I'm seeing the toys.
Oh, you guys, are you the heroes of Umbedo?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Certainly.
Good job.
Thank you.
And oh my God, it's Flotsam! Oh, you're so dreamy in person.
Thank you.
Can I touch your shell?
Oh, yes. Just once.
Ah! Ah!
I think he said once. That was definitely twice.
I don't know about that noise you just made.
I'm sorry. I have a
One more touch and you'd be done.
I have a painting of Flotsam down over my bunk bed.
How old are you?
I'm like, in like gnome years. I mean, I'm like 22, but that's basically like, like a teenager.
Great. Thank you for scaling it down for us.
I'm not even supposed to be drinking.
Oh, that's exciting for you then. Oh, we were looking to get inside here. Do you go to the artificer school or what is this? The alchemy school?
She grabs you and says, "Don't tell Doc Jane more, please."
I won't, but we'd really love for you to show
around.
Flotsam here everything that goes on in this beautiful building.
Oh my God, it would be my pleasure. Come in. She
Here we go.
opens up the doors, and she brings you into the sort of main room. As soon as you come into the main room, you notice that there are two suits of armor, and as they walk in, they each sort of put swords down in front of you. And she turns around and says, "Oh, stop it there with me! You're invited in! But only for tonight! Only for tonight! Shh, we won't tell anyone else!" And they go up, and the animated armor says, "As you wish, Spark Coil." She walks into this hallway that wraps around the entire academy. Even though it's late at night, there are enchanted torches going on. And she brings you into this first room here. She walks in and says, "This is where the potions are made. This is where we make all the potions, and poisons and everything that you learn here at the academy." You would notice that the ceiling is 30 feet high, but the walls of most of these rooms are only 15 feet high. And there's a catwalk that runs around them at the 15-foot level. She continues Spark Coil around the hallway. You go past a bunch of books and see several desks, and she takes you into another room that has these large vats with smoke pouring out of them. And she says, "This is where we do the infusions. We can make armor or weapons or more powerful. It's very cool. Oh my
Can you
God.
make my basher bashier?
Yeah, we could, but I'm not supposed to do anything at night. That would have to go through Doc Chainmore."
Yeah, but I'm the hero of whatever.
She turns to Flotsam and says, "Flotsam, is he? What do you think?"
Oh, I think there could even be some signed loot picks in it for you.
Oh my gosh! A signed loot pick? That's pretty cool. Give it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Roll a charisma, Bard, as you're doing this.
Oh, something I'm finally good at.
Oh no. Oh no.
A 1?
Wonderful.
A natural 1.
Oh, this is so good.
That's
she
excellent.
she takes it, and as she's putting it into the infusion, she puts it into a vat. She closes it up, and she says, I put it in the destroyer."
No! Oh no! No! My catastrophe skeleton masher!
Oh no!
I might have to use your skeleton from now on.
"I'm so sorry. Can I still get my loot pick?"
You know, I think what might be helpful, because clearly Flotsam is hurt by this. His good friend having
Yes,
his
sorry,
favorite weapon destroyed.
Yes, I was not busy trying to think of rhymes for catastrophe.
Apostrophe.
It might be
really.
helpful if you would tell us about any recent projects that Doc Chainmore has been getting up to, or maybe things that he wanted you to keep a fun little secret. I think Flotsam would like to, know about that.
Or give me a new basher.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
Give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Um,
Little wink. Bardic inspiration.
Don't worry, Bart. This obstacle to overcome will only increase the trajectory of your arc throughout the rock opera.
I'm on the
It's all
hero
for the best.
journey.
Through the rock opera. I can't
It's
wait
all
for that.
rock opera now?
Oh, hell yeah. Bat the basher!
That's excellent. Yeah, but how's about that? How's about, letting us in on a little anything you might know about?
why don't you roll a charisma check as
Yeah.
well, and tell me what you get,
Don't roll
and
a
roll a persuasion.
Both or
No,
just...
roll a persuasion instead of charisma. Roll
Okay.
persuasion.
Oh gosh. That's 13.
She says, I can't tell you it. Now I get in too much trouble. Even when I'm thinking I'm gotta be drinking. And then...
Speaking of drinking, you know what? You could soothe my wounded heart with a lot of booze. We could do shots.
That's a great idea!
Shots! 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 Shots!
Shots.
She says, come with me. She takes you past another room. She walks you down the hallway. You pass a room up here in which you see sort of lots of different gears and parts and pieces. As you're going, she says, "Oh, that's the engineering room. That's where we make all the mechanical constructs, like the binocular vision and the prosthetic arms and the springy boots, all that stuff." And
you give me bashy arms?
yeah, you can make bashy arms, yeah. A prosthetic arm, yeah. But, you gotta go through surgery, and I'm not really skilled at that. You keep walking, and there's a locked door here, and you see the ladder, locked door on your left. On your right, you see the ladder up to the catwalk. Now, interestingly, as you walk past, you do go through one room in which the walls go up 30 feet. So most of the rooms, it's 15 feet, only half walls, but there is one room in which the walls go all the way to the top.
Vicious.
Right here. As you walk past that, you come to the steps that are going to take you down. She ushers you down the steps, and she brings you all the way down into the basement, where there are 5 beds and 4 sleeping, or 3 sleeping gnomes and Spark Coil. She says, "Hey everyone, I got some friends!"
Yeah.
No.
Shots. Guys, we need to use the best at shots.
One of them says, "Why you always do? We're trying to sleep. We're gonna have a big day tomorrow." She says, "He's from the north." And then another one says, "Oh, stop it, guys! Spark Coil, must you always do?" She says, "It's gotta be fun." And she opens up her chest by her bed. She takes out some Lion's Red. She says, "This is the only wine I can afford." And she pours a round of shots for everyone.
Okay. Sparky, you and me. We're going to find out who's the shottiest.
I'm sure we will.
Are you about to do a drinking game?
Yeah.
Is anyone else going to be in on this drinking game?
No.
I think if I can avoid it, no. No, I won't.
Fish guy.
I'm more of an observer.
Yeah, I get that.
That's okay if you just want to watch.
She says, "I like this idea. Let's make a bet on it.
Yes.
Whoever stops, let's see. What do we want to bet?
Bashy arms.
What?
If I win, you have to somehow get me bashy arms. And if you win, you can have, I don't know, like the money thing I got from the thing that I don't care about.
Okay, you love this idea. So if I win, if you have to stop drinking, your throws up. Let's do throws up. If you have to throw up, then I get how much gold do you have?
I don't know. How much gold do I have, West?
You have on you 14 gold.
Yeah, that many.
Okay, I get all your gold, and is that mithril? Poking out of your backpack, there are several bars of mithril.
Yeah, you can have one of those, but the arms better be super bashy.
5 of them.
Okay.
All your gold and 5 bars of mithril if you throw up, and if I throw up, you get to get a prosthetic arm.
Super bashy arms.
Okay, great. This is a good plan.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go! Make a Constitution check.
Now, I'd like to point out, I am clean and sober at this point.
Yeah, she's already trashed.
Already trashed. So I think it should be a Constitution save with advantage, wouldn't you say?
She's
No,
also a dwarf, though, right?
but I'll give her disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. You have disadvantage because you ate the chocolate.
Only in punching.
No, on everything. It's made your stomach.
Punching my liver.
No, it's made your stomach very messed up. This is you are not doing this on a healthy. You've already soiled your pants a couple times, I think.
Guys, it's
But
okay. Because if I throw up first, I'll just kill everyone, and then I'll still get my bashy arms.
So since you would both have disadvantage, let's just say you're both even. She's drunk. You're sick from the chocolate. All right.
This is going to be very difficult to work in from a storytelling perspective.
I also gave Bart bardic inspiration when he got the when he
That's true.
got the nat one. So you've got a bardic, which for me I think is a 1d6 instead of a 1d8.
You can add 1d6 to it once. You can only do it once.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I rolled a 3 and a 6, so that's not good.
So
that's a 5 and an 8.
Okay, well let's say this is without disadvantage. Let's do it fair. Since she has disadvantage too, so you rolled an 8. All right. She rolled an 11. The first was a DC 10. So you get a little drunk and she stays fine.
Great.
If we're gonna fail, if you get -2, you're gonna throw up. You are at -1. She is at 0. She says, "Okay, ready for round 2?"
Hell yeah.
She pours again. You shoot. What did you get on the Constitution?
14, yo.
She got a 16. You guys, you're still at -1. She's still at 0. She says, "Next shot." She pours it. She got a 19.
Can't believe I'm adventuring with this
I got
guy.
a 14 again.
All right. You got a 14. She got a 14. You're still -1. She's at 0. She says, "All right, let's up the odds. I do have some good stuff." And she goes to one of her friends and she says, "To Le Mans, give me your stuff." He says, "I do not want to. I do not even want you to be here." She said, "Come on, to Le Mans. Don't be a wimp. Give me the good stuff." Oh my god, I hate you all so much. He goes and he takes out a bottle of something that is you've never seen. It's some kind of very rich liquor that comes from up north. And he says, oh, one shot for each of you, and I'm done with this game. She says, but you're going to have to be the one that performs the surgery when he gets the arm. All right. So you shoot this one and do a constitution check. Tell me what you got.
Oh no.
I don't know if you can see it, but kids, that's a natural one.
Oh!
Did you already use your D6? Can you use...
I don't think you could do it on a natural one.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Now, you do have Bart the Basher inspiration from some point.
Oh, I do.
Yep,
Oh,
you could use it.
Yeah, I think that might be the right call.
All right,
I really want the bashy arms.
You get one more roll.
Yeah, here we go. 12?
Are you gonna add? It's a DC 14. This one.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna add the Bart thing.
All right. So now you've used your bardic inspiration. You survived.
16.
She failed. So you're both at -1. She says, "You know what? I like you. You're strong and powerful. You're really good. I hope that Flotsam writes a song about you. Let's do one more. And now, let's really do something crazy." She goes behind all of her stuff and she brings out something and says, "This isn't really even alcohol. We use this to grease the equipment before we attach them to the people's spines. Let's see what happens when we drink it."
Yes! Hell yes!
She pours 2 shots. This is going to be a DC 17.
I'm still at disadvantage.
No, just roll regular. You're not a disadvantage. She's not a disadvantage. Just roll regular. See what you get.
17!
She fails and vomits.
Yeah! Get bashing!
There's puke all over the dorms, all the bed, all the other numbs. Like, that's disgusting. What are you doing? What? Oh my God, Sparkle, you are horrible.
Bashy arms, please.
No. Is this going to entail taking his arms off and putting, or is he just getting extra arms?
Ooh,
She says,
I just want extras.
Okay.
So tout le monde says, no, it's a prosthetic arm. We attach it to him. It's a surgery. It takes about 2 hours of surgery, and then he'll be weak for another day, but he will have a prosthetic arm.
Let's do this!
All right, you guys go back upstairs.
Yeah, some of us are art critics, and some of us got bashy arms.
You walk into this room here. As soon as you come up the stairs, you walk into the room that had the locked door. Now, one thing you'll notice as soon as you come into this room is that there is a stone door at the other end of it. And it's locked. It looks far more powerful than all the others, and that is the door that goes to the 15-foot high ceilings. This room has these sort of animators around it, these sort of large tubes that have electricity going through them, and there's all these parts and pieces, and they can open and they can close. As you lay on one, he says, it will be about 2 hours surgery. I will begin. He puts Bart the Basher in, knocks him out, and they are attaching that to him inside this 2-hour surgery. Now, Flotsam, Thalia, and Kolker, you see that he is being attached with this arm, and you guys, how are you going to spend the 2 hours?
I'm intending to just sort of look around and see what I can find. Not that I necessarily know what any of it's going to be, but
Well, the thing I think you would see that is the most suspicious is this sort of large stone door.
Yes, the big stone door.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
But it's tough to sneak into that because I presume there are there are artificers working on the whole attaching an arm thing.
Yep, inside this room.
Is there another entrance to that room I see on the map, or is that not?
Are you going to try to exit and look around?
If I stealth, yeah.
Well, all of the folks are there. So, if you want to, here, I'll sort of put you in, and I'll do the same thing with you. Coker. So you guys are now inside of this, watching him go in, and then I'll give you. Let's see. Do I have any sort of turtley things? What about
any sort of turtle thing?
what about this little guy here? This is sort of for you, Flotsam. So yeah. So Thalia, you're gonna walk out the door, or Coker. Sorry, did you say you're gonna go out the door?
Yeah, I'll go out the door.
So the first thing you see is the catwalk. Are you going to move to the right, to the rooms you've been before, or to the left towards the entrance?
I'm going to go up on the catwalk.
Great. So up on the catwalk, when you get there, you see that it goes over all the rooms you've seen. There's one that goes straight down, into which you can look into the potion room, as well as the infusion room. There's a little side branch that takes you overlooking the engineering room, and like you're at an old operating theater, there's one that sort of wraps around the top of the 15-foot wall over this sort of animation room where the pieces are attached. You can see beyond it, and that the wall does end, so you would know that there is another passageway all the way over to the other side of the tower, next to the the other side of the hall, next to the tower, where the large sort of tower that's attached. And you would see that there is again this one room that has a wall all around it.
Yeah, I'm going to sneak my way around over to them.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. So as you come over, as you come over there, you can't go that far because you can only come to here because you're going to hit another door when you get to right into this area. So when you get to that area,
I was attempting to walk on top of the wall.
Yes. Roll a stealth check for me. Very smart.
Hold on, I'm texting you saying.
Secrets.
Yes.
Okay. 1 second.
I'd like to think that I'm like keeping an eye, or like sort of that I noticed when he left or whatever.
I rolled a natural 20.
Wow. You on so many of these, I think it's so smart, and I'm even going to give you initiative for this because you have realized, Kulker, you get inspiration. Sorry, I mean, you have realized a flaw in the design of this facility, which was clearly the flaw of the architect, not the dungeon master. That the locked door. The stone door that would keep you from going in was only built 15 feet tall. So yes, you do successfully make your way across the wall. When you get down over here on this side, you're down there. You're going to see another construct. It's sort of right here, and this is It looks like an animated suit of armor that you'd seen before, but it's sort of far more powerful. This is a mechanical construct that seems to have a lot of more strength, more armor, more hit points, all of that. And it's patrolling this little hallway that goes between the tower and the wall with the high ceilings. And you're looking down on it. You could jump down there because you've gotten past the door.
Okay. And of course, the thing is, if I jump down and fight it, I probably don't stand a chance.
Look, it's all about confidence. Just be confident. Believe in yourself.
I do believe in myself. I also prefer to believe in myself being alive.
Well, let's take a break. While you've been doing that, Thalia and Flotsam, you saw Kolker leave the room. What are you going to do?
Would we have followed at all his journey along the upper? I mean, we could still probably. If I was looking for him, I could see him walking along the wall.
I think his natural 20 stealth was so good that you couldn't see him almost if you were looking right at him.
I have no interest in what he does whatsoever.
Fair enough. I think in that case that, is everyone pretty focused on whatever's happening with Bart's surgery?
They are all gathered around cutting open Bart and taking different metallic pieces and gears and putting them inside, attaching them to his spine.
Yeah, then I think I'd slip out the door and sort of take a look around, try to see if I could catch up to Kolker or see what's interesting around.
Okay, so you went out and went up onto the catwalk.
Sure, yeah.
I will say then that you could have seen Kolker up here on the catwalk. You could have watched him go, and you could see him across the way. Kolker, now what do you do? So let's say that you and Magister Thalia, you've gone over the wall, you've seen this sort of steampunk mech creature, and you look back and you see Magister Thalia on the other side.
So is the tech creature patrolling, or just staying in one place?
He is patrolling. He's walking up and down the hallway.
Okay.
So, but he's just going up and down and back and forth. He's just walking back and forth.
Gotcha.
Each walk, but he's not moving fast. I would say each walk takes about, let's see how far he's going. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It's about 60 feet, and he's doing it about 5 minutes. So you would have 5 minutes while he's walking away from you.
Okay. I'm going to walk all the way, I'm going to sneak all the way up to the wall over here.
Mm-hmm.
And wait until the thing just passes me, headed south, headed that direction.
Uh-huh.
Then hop down and sidle along the wall to this door-looking thing over here. It's going to take him a long time to keep walking, apparently. So.
Okay. Now, do you give any sign to Magister Thalia as you do this?
I wave.
All right.
I think I do a bunch of cool sort of spy military hand gestures, and in doing that give you bardic inspiration.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see.
Right.
Wait, don't you only have how many bardic inspirations can you do?
I did Bart, I did that other person, this is my last one.
Okay. Flotsam, what are you doing now during this? Let's check in with you.
Well, I would like to, help advance the adventure along. Obviously, my main character is, kind of in a holding pattern at the moment, so not really much to note there in terms of the, adding to the notes. So I thought, maybe I'd explore if there was a way into this, see if there were any secret waterways in this building that I could exploit.
You're looking for drains.
Yeah, something like that.
Where are you going to look for them?
Well, let's see. I'm going to. Sorry, I'm going to take a look at the map here real quick. Now the. I guess I would assume. I guess I would look for some kind of central. Maybe there's a sort of a washroom or laundry service area or somewhere where there might be a lot of. So I think I would just head out and kind of poke around and see if there was anything that caught my eye like that.
Are you exploring the upper level or the lower level as well?
Which level am I on?
The upper level, the sort of ground level.
Oh, okay. Then let me explore. Let me explore there. Yeah, I mean, I'll just check out the area. I'm not like that much of a. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just like, I'll poke around. Maybe I can be useful.
You don't find any washrooms on the upper level, but as you poke around, you do find drains in the potions room and in the infusions room. There are sort of large grates in the floor, and they seem to be going into some sort of drainage system.
How are these grates easily movable, or?
They're in the ground. You'd have to do a strength check.
Okay, let me see if I can pry this one up. Not in the potions room. What's the other ones in the
infusions room? The infusions room, where they said they would infuse sort of weapons and armor and stuff.
Yeah, that seems like it probably has less dangerous things in it. So I'm gonna try to open that one up.
Okay, give me a strength check. Let me know what you get.
Okay. Let's see. That is a 16.
Yeah, you open it up and you drop down into this sort of watery tunnel that seems to be leading away from the Tricera Academy.
Oh, fascinating. Well, I guess I'll follow it. I mean, I could conceivably be the character in my own song.
As you're going through, you do see a branch that juts to your right, and one that keeps going further ahead. The one going further ahead, if you were looking, seems to be going sort of out this way, towards the cliffs and towards the lake, and the one that juts to your right seems to be heading towards the tower.
Well, obviously, I guess that probably is draining out or not particularly useful in any way, so I'm going to head toward the tower and see if that gets me anywhere.
Okay, as you do that, let's jump back to Kulker. So, Kulker, you successfully drop down, and you go to the door. It is a wooden door. The door is locked. You have a quick second. What are you going to do?
I'm going to attempt to pick the lock using my dagger, fully aware that I have no clue how to pick a lock.
And you're doing this without thieves' tools. You're just trying to do this on your dagger.
It's better than nothing. I don't have thieves' tools, so.
Okay, good.
It's all about confidence.
Let's see.
Well, actually, no. Wait, hold on 1 second. I do have. Okay. What I am actually going. Well, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a keyhole on it?
There is a keyhole on it, yes.
Can I look through the keyhole and see if I can see the room?
Yes, you can.
Okay. What do I see?
Roll, let's see, why don't you roll, just to see how much you can get, why don't you roll a investigation check? That you have a +1 on that.
Okay. I basically just need to know if there's an empty space roughly my size in the room that I can see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So sorry, what am I rolling?
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. 15.
Oh, yes, perfect. You can immediately see that inside the room there is a lot of spaces for you. There's a bookshelf along one wall, a table in the middle, and a large chair. But right in front of the door, there's about a 10-foot by 5-foot space.
Awesome. I'm casting Misty Step and stepping through the door to this empty space that I can see.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. You come into this room. This is an office. There's, like we said, there's a large couch there. On the desk, there seems to be a letter sort of written that has just come in. And along the bookshelf, you can see lots of different mechanical spells. So we're going to treat these like spell scrolls, but what they are different mechanical contraptions that can do different things. There's also on the bookshelf an eye that is sort of turning and looking at you as you walk around.
Okay. Firstly, I'm gonna just wave to the eye.
Okay.
Okay. So what was on this coffee table desk thing?
There's a letter that looks like it's just been written.
Okay, I would like to read the letter.
What languages do you speak?
I would like to look at the letter and see if it's in a language that I speak.
It is not. You speak Common, Druidic, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Halfling, and this is in a letter. This is in a language you do not understand.
Okay. Can I recognize what language it is?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Then I'm just gonna take the letter with me
Okay.
and take a look at the stuff on the shelves.
On the shelves, you're going to see all these different contraptions. You don't quite know what they do, but there are 5 different ones. 2 of them are bright red, 1 of them is bright green, and 2 of them are bright blue. And they all are sort of little balls that seem to have energy inside of them.
Okay. Can I take all of them, or do I only have space for some of them?
Nope, you can take them all.
Great, I'll take them all.
All right.
And now I'd like to take a look at the inside of the big stone door.
On the big stone door, it has a lock that goes into it, but you can see that you could unlock it and open into the room where they're doing the animation. And there's also the eye that keeps watching you as you move around.
I'm going to take the eye, too. Just toss the eye in the bag.
Excellent. So, to just remind you, this we'll come back. You have 5 mechanical spells. 2 are red, 1 is green, 2 are blue. Alright, while he's doing that, Thalia, what are you doing?
I'm interested in the tower and the entrance that's sort of along that back corridor.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably would have... I think that I'm following where Kolker jumped down, because obviously something was interesting over there. And then maybe across that little passageway where the automaton is sort of going is a door? Is it wood, stone? Or is it just an opening?
It's a door. It's a stone door. But if you're going to walk over there, you're going to have to make a stealth check as well.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Remember,
yeah.
Kolker did a natural 20 with incredible halfling stealth.
No pressure.
And I have disadvantage on stealth, so this would be
Yes,
interesting.
because you're wearing plate armor. So
Can I...
you're going to try to very quietly walk in your large metal plate armor.
Okay, let's see. Oh, no. No. That's gonna be a 7.
All right. So before you even get halfway across, Tulamon says, "What are you doing, Madam Satali? Get down from up there. That is very dangerous. You could get hurt and fall. Why are you up there?"
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to get a better vantage point on the surgery. It's just so interesting. I really wanted to be able to see all of it. I'll come down. No worries.
You must come back down. You are not allowed up there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I guess I'll. Dang it! I'll go back.
While you're doing that, Sparkcoil says, "Can I make the incision here?" He's like, "No, you do not touch the body of Bartabasher."
They're like in the room where they are doing the surgery. There's like shelves or
Yes, there are.
I don't know.
Yes, there are. There is a library.
Cool. I guess I'll sort of, since I've got an eye on me again, I'll just sort of peruse, see what I can see in those shelves or in the room.
Yeah. So in that library, there's lots of stuff. While you're reading it, you realize that if you spent the 2 hours reading while Bart was being in his surgery, you would learn a little bit about artificing, and you would gain the Artificer Initiate feat.
Well, we're here for... That's really tempting. We're here to sort of do some recon, though, so I don't know how helpful that is. Yeah. What? We're investigating artificers. I guess I'll sort of...
You're taking prizes.
I'm what?
You're taking prizes.
I'm taking prizes. Yeah, I guess. Well, I've got loud ass plate armor. I can't really do a whole lot of. I'll read. I'll do some reading.
All right, you read now. Flotsam, let's check in with you. You have gathered. You have come this path, and you have come underneath the tower. Inside the tower where you are, you can see there's a little grate above you, and it leads to a circular room where you can see just the beginning of another animator. This is a smaller animator that looks like it's being used for private use. You can sort of see peeking up above the grate.
I don't see anyone in this room necessarily.
Not from where you can see, no.
Oh no.
Okay. Let me think. I don't want to rush in hastily, but let's see. Can I test the grate and see if I'm able to quietly sort of shift it at all?
Give me a strength check.
Yep, let's see. That's going to be a 13.
Yeah, you can. You can lift it up. It doesn't seem to be bolted into the ground, and you sort of push it aside.
Okay, I'm going to very gingerly peek in.
Okay. What you see around you is, again, there's a private animator and a box of tools, and then there is a desk with a lot of gears and a letter on it and a rug on the floor in front of it. There is also a spiral staircase winding up around you to a second floor.
All right. Let me see. I guess I'm going to check out this letter.
So you walk over to the desk?
Yes.
All right. As soon as you step on the rug, it comes to life and it wraps itself around you. What is your armor class, Flotsam?
11.
Oh, you are very lucky. It tries to wrap yourself around you and grapple you, but you jump off. It rolled a natural 1, so you immediately jump back, but now it's sort of floating in the air. It's sort of curled back like a snake, ready to strike between you and the desk.
That blanket sucks at rolling.
Yeah. When you described the rug, I was like, player me was like, oh, that rug is probably trapped, but Flotsam wasn't.
That's
wasn't
right.
Thinking
that rug dropped himself. Rolls, you roll a 1, you drop your.
Flotsam is used to the stage and not the secret laboratory. Let's see.
That is the classiest way to say laboratory.
Laboratory.
Well, it depends. I say it either way depending on how many syllables I need for the scansion.
Well, duh.
I wonder if I can. Now, is it possible for me to? Okay, I think I know what to do here.
Guys, I got this close to buying a ping pong table just now.
Sorry, just now?
So this rug is facing me.
Yep.
Now, what I would like to do is cast some spells. Is it possible for me? Let me ask if shape water. I can freeze water provided there are no creatures in it. Is the rug a creature?
The rug is not a creature. It is an inanimate. It's an animate object, but it would not be counted as a creature.
Okay. Well, then I'm going.
It's a construct.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to create water, and I'm going to create the water right above the rug and dump it on it to soak the rug.
Okay.
And then use shape water to freeze that water.
Ooh. You can do
That's
two
so
actions.
cool.
Yeah.
I think. Can I?
Let's see. Let me see. Can you do two actions there?
What you have to do is confidently say yes.
Well, are they in initiative order right now, or?
Well, yeah, because he attacked, so he would be your move right now. Let's see, Flotsam.
Yeah. Let me check my.
It's a good idea. It's if you can do it, but it might take 2 turns for you.
Yeah, I might have to wait till the second turn.
Yeah, you can only do 1 action, so you can dump water on it. After you dump water on it, it goes to try to smother you again. It rolls a 2. It does not succeed. So now you are able to freeze the water that you have thrown on it.
Hell yes.
And let's see. That is going to... Yeah, you freeze it on it, but I don't think... It basically incapacitates it for 1 turn.
Okay.
So you're going to get another turn now while it's incapacitated, while it sort of is breaking free of the frozen parts. But now it is back and about to attack.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have my. What am I wearing currently? Hang on, let me just double check my equipment. Where is that? I believe I am. Am I double wielding my daggers? Sorry.
You can attack with 2. Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna attack with my 2 daggers because that feels like it's gonna be the most effective against a rug.
All right, do your roll 2 attack rolls. Tell me what you get.
Okay, let's see. So dagger, we got. All right. Let's see. Okay. Well, we got a 5, and then we got a natural 1.
Okay, so one of your daggers just blunts against the floor, and the other one does not attack it at all. It goes again. This time, it's going to get a 19. That is going to do well, and it has grappled you. While you are grappled, you are going to take 10 points of damage each turn. You now go from 24 hit points to 14. This is
not great.
Not going to be great for Tritons.
Oh, fish guy!
While that's happening, let's check back in with Kulker. So,
gosh, I hope one of you can get into the tower.
Kulker, I'll say that you have heard through the other room some sort of screaming and jumping around as Flotsam and this thing got a hold of each other. Also, at this point, it has gone past midnight. And speaking of feats, something happens to you where you feel sort of a darkness welling up inside of you. You remember back when...
That burrito you ate earlier.
No. You remember back when Herb Dankweed took you to see the Drow civilization, and you have become shadow-touched.
Ooh.
Okay, I don't know what that means in this case, though. Although I'm guessing from Thalia's face over there, it's something insane.
You've gained...
That's so cool.
You've just got a feat where you've gained sort of some dark energy. One thing that I think you have realized is that you can now turn yourself invisible.
I could already do that. I had that magic.
Well, you now have invisibility, and as being shadow touched, another thing that would happen is you would be able to gain 1 feat. You would be able to gain 1 other spell that you would learn of your choice. So it's going to give you 1 other spell in your spell range, and your wisdom has increased by 1. The spells could be Inflict Wounds, Silent Image, Color Spray, Disguise Self, False Life, Illusory Script, or Ray of Sickness.
Always color spray.
All right, let me look through those. Someone else take a turn.
All right. So if you go to features and traits on your D&D Beyond and go down to Manage Feats and go all the way down Manage Feats, you'll see Shadow Touched. And if you click the caret, you'll be able to do it. Okay. While he's doing that,
Let's
yes.
go to Magister Thalia.
Yeah. Let's go to Magister Thalia, who is reading silently in the corner, learning how to be an artificer.
I tried to go to the tower, and they saw me, so I thought I would read a book.
Somewhere Dank is taking a nap.
Oh my gosh! Oh no, where's Zinc? Is there any chance that maybe Magister Thalia felt a disturbance in the force or something?
This would have... I'm going to say it's very high. Roll an investigation, and I'm going to say DC 18 on this.
Oh gosh.
Because, of course, there is a man being cut and electrocuted around you.
Oh, 18!
Oh! Alright, you do, out of the corner of your elven ear with your increased hearing, you do hear a little, like... What sort of noise would you make, Flotsam, as a turtle Triton?
Oh god, I wasn't meant for this!
But behind a door. Again, I wasn't meant for this.
And inside of a rug.
Magnum opus remains unfinished.
Oh no. I sense an unfinished song, my bard multiclass. Okay, then I guess I'll hear that or feel the disturbance and sort of be like, I mean, are they paying any more attention to me, or was it mostly just the being up on the wall thing?
It was being up on the wall.
Okay. Then I'm going to leave it again and try to get out to the tower, I guess, because I still am interested in that.
So, again, you're coming around to a stone door because you're not up on the top. And you're definitely not going to get there until a couple other initiative turns have gone by. I'm gonna say running, it would take you 2 turns to get there. So let's say you start on your way, and in 2 turns you will be at the door. The stone door.
Gosh.
Not even at the tower door. At the stone door.
Guy.
Alright. So, Kulker, what have you decided to do with your shadow-touched feet?
I'm going to take Silent Image.
Okay. And what are you gonna do?
Okay, so right now I'm still in that little room.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to unlock but not open the stone door.
Okay.
And relax on the couch for a minute.
Alright! You unlock the stone door and you relax on the couch for a bit. Alright. While we're in here...
Just as much as he hates 4 stanzas.
what are you? Hold on. What are you gonna do? Where you are, you can. If you want to try to not be grappled, flotsam, while this thing is around you, it's gonna take a strength check of DC 13 to escape.
Okay. And also, Wes, just a note, side note. Are you keeping track of some of these things? Because I can't edit the character since it's...
Yes.
Okay, so like you keep track of my hit points and my spell usages, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, let's do this strength check. Okay, what was it again?
It's going to be a DC 13. So right now, your strength is -1.
Yes, it is mine. Oh, I'm very aware of what it is. I am so pleased to report that I rolled a natural 20.
Oh! Okay. You are able to break free, and for that, I will also let you do one more action.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to swing that dagger for real this time.
Okay.
And
Another crit. Another crit.
And now, does that count? Can I do 2 or just the 1 because you're only giving me the 1?
You can do no. You can do 2 weapon fighting. You can do 2.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. All right. That will be an 11 and an 18.
An 11 and an 18. The 18 is going to get through. How much damage do you do?
The armor class carpet.
Yeah. Yeah. 1d4 plus 1, so that's going to be a 4.
Okay.
Cold carpet.
Yeah.
Wet, cold carpet.
This is in armor class is 12. This is a powerful carpet, I think.
What the hell? Well, that only does 4 damage. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Can't you?
You're gonna take a while. This is gonna take a little while. All right. Let's see if I can do this. And give me 1 second. Give me 1 second while this is going on. Some exciting things are happening here. Let me see what I can do. So, coming around from the back of the door, hiding during this time, you hear another little sound. And it is not a second Magister Thalia. That is incorrect. What it is, in fact, is... let me see if I can do this. We're going to do this in real time because it's just so exciting, even though we're seeing everyone behind the curtain here. It is Zinkadinka!
What an entrance!
And Zink Gadinka
What do you think Gadinka do?
running in to maybe save you. I don't know. Let me see here what else I could do on this. Get you back, my
You
friend.
went into the living armor. I should have warned you about that before you entered this place.
No, he is inside the tower. So let's say Zinkadinka, you have come around.
Things have happened.
A lot of crazy things have happened while this has been going on. But let's say, Zink, that you have come around the outside of this tower. While your friends have been in here, do you want to give us a real quick update on where you've been for the last 24 hours?
I need a lot of rest. I needed a lot of rest after I turned into Doc Chainmore. I was truly traumatized. I forgot just how traumatizing it was, the relationship I had with Doc Chainmore, and so turning into him forced me to take a very, very long rest, and just plumb overslept.
And make your way. Oh, right. And make your way into Khorasan's on your own. And why have you visited? Not knowing what your friends have been doing, why have you visited the Tricera Institute on the outside?
Well, I was kicked out of the institute. I stood up to Doc Chainmore and his insanity, literally his insanity mist. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that I was standing up to the dock. So I was kicked out. I was expelled. I was banished, humiliated, and so a little iffy going in there. But you know.
I'd just like to point out that I know that you and Dr. Chainmore didn't get along, but earlier I made it a little bit chainless.
First of all, you're in surgery. Second of all,
aren't you under?
She has no idea what's going on. All right.
Delusions.
There were chains.
Hallucinations.
There were fewer chains.
All that is important is that Zinkadinka has come outside this tower. Inside, you can hear a Triton being smothered by a rug. And there is a window on the outside of this. It's a small window, but you could jump through as a note.
Okay. Are we in the front of the building? Am I in the front of the building right now, or am I
No,
on the
you're
side?
you're way you're on the outside. You're over you're way over sort of here. So you're way on the outside. If you look at this, here's the whole building, and you have come around to this sort of outside area. And inside the tower, we have Flotsam, the turtle, and Zink is basically right here, right outside of the tower.
All right. Well, let's go in that window and kind of crouch down and see what's going on in there.
Okay. You have made it halfway to the stone door, Magistrate Thalia. Do you want to change any of your plans at this point?
I don't think that she'd have any real reason to change her plans, so I guess I'm still... last that I heard was some like muffled screaming, and reading is boring. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm still interested in seeing what's up.
The rug again goes for Flotsam. Are you doing anything since you have unlocked the door, Kulker?
Say that one more time. Sorry.
You've unlocked the stone door, but you haven't opened it, and you're sitting on the couch. Have you done anything else?
No, not yet. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to the door and take a look at the wooden door and take a look through the keyhole and see if I can discern where in the hallway the mechanized armor is.
He is walking right past you.
Great. Which direction?
Heading away from you, heading back towards the stone door.
Okay. So as soon as it passes, I'm going to slip out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to cast my newly acquired spell of Silent Image down at the other corner to keep the mech distracted.
And is this an image of yourself?
No, actually, I'm going to cast an image of Bard.
Yes. Do I get to play this image?
Yes, but you have to do so without making any noise because it is a silent.
Oh.
Okay, you cast an image of Bart. What is the image of Bart doing? Bart?
The image of Bart.
Oh no, he said he gets to do it.
Yeah,
Yes, he does. You are
I
correct.
get to play the image of Bart. Yeah, boy. Let me. I'm searching for cake.
You mean just by like looking against a barren wall and a stone door?
I'm just feeling for weak spots that might have a secret compartment for cake.
All right, the mech. Let's now, because now the mech is involved, of course. The mech does attack you with a multi-attack. First, it runs and slams you. That is going to be a 26 attack. It does 14 points of damage, and then it slams again. This one is a 7 and does another. That's 28 hit points of damage, almost destroying the stone door.
Oh, bummer. All this hypothetical damage.
Well, it's doing it against the door. It is hitting the door.
Guys, I'm helping.
Now, while that's going on, we are back to the Rug of Smothering, which gets a 15. That's going to be good enough. It successfully smothers you again, and Flotsam, you take another 10 points of damage. You are now...
4.
Yes, you are down to 4. Zinkadinka has come into the room. Flotsam, you get to go first. What are you going to do? Try to break free?
Try to break free, yes.
Yep, so it's a strength check, -1.
That's going to be a 3.
No. You cannot. Zink, what are you going to do?
Wait, so I'm in a room. Do I know who this is?
No, you can't even, you wouldn't even know what it is. All you see...
I'm pretty well known around these parts.
Oh! Very fair. Yes, you are... Growing up in Khorassad, Zink, you would know of the famous bard Flotsam, who looks kind of like a turtle and is known for... is known for his songs. They are epic ballads on the lyre that he composes.
Critically disputed epic ballads.
He does have his haters, but generally he's loved.
Is he the size of a turtle, or
He's like Justin Bieber. It's not unanimous.
Just like Bieber, he looks like a turtle.
So I couldn't pick him up and carry him somewhere.
No, he's
in a rug.
He's first of all, he's wrapped up in a rug like a taco. Second of all, he is a lot larger than you. He is a good 5.5 feet tall turtle.
So what room are we in?
You are in this circular room. It's the ground floor of the tower that you've never been in, because it's sort of Zinkadinka. It is Doc Chainmore's living space.
Right. Okay. And he's in a rug? Dude, you get in a rug. What are you doing in a rug? It's a magic room. God, son of a... Okay. He's almost dead too, right? Let's see. I'm going to,
It is not looking yummy for the Beebs.
It is...
Guess he shouldn't have shagged.
Let's, can we use a potion of vitality on him? What caused him to be in such a state?
I don't think you have the time for these kind of questions.
It's mostly the rug.
Okay. Alright. Stay here, friend.
Stay here!
No problem.
There's stairs, right? Up to his...
Yes, going up to the room upstairs. There are stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna run up the stairs.
You do have a potion of healing, but never mind. You definitely run up the stairs to the second floor.
I'm gonna run up the stairs. Is there a door that I can use my little ring on and look through the stone door?
No, there is no door on the stairs upstairs.
Okay. Anything upstairs that's interesting, or did I just run upstairs?
You run upstairs, and you can see a sort of suit of armor against a window. You can see a bed, a chest, a desk with some notes on it, and a chair. It looks like Doc Chainmore is not home.
Great. Let's look in the chest.
The chest is locked.
And
homicide at this point.
I am a tinker. I have tools.
Yes, you want to use thieves' tools to open it?
Yes.
Alright, that's going to take your turn. Let's go back.
Could have used those tools on the rug.
You know, this Tritons do not fare well.
You know that YouTube video? I like turtles. You hate turtles.
Okay. Magister Thalia, you have finally gotten down to the stone door, which has several holes in it. And what you see is a sort of large mech hitting what appears to be an image of Bart the Basher, who you just saw in the room having the surgery, and a mech sort of crashing out the door.
I think I would know, since he's not screaming, that that's some sort of illusion. Is there any chance of, like, I don't know, it's breaking through the door, but is there a way for me to, like, climb over the situation, or I don't know, do I have to fight this mech now?
No, but you do think that the door, with one break, you could probably destroy the door. It would probably destroy it in the next hit.
But I have to wait like a turn to have it completely destroy the...
Yep, unless you have another idea of something you want to try.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, unless I have another idea. Gosh, oh no. Yeah, I guess I am going to sort of like set up with the crossbow for when the mech inevitably, like, you know, to hold my action for when the mech gets through, so in case it starts to fight me, I guess? I don't know.
Alright, you're aiming your crossbow at the holes in the door towards the mech. Not firing through the image of Bart the Basher. Just aiming.
Where's the cake? Where's the cake?
Okay. Kulker, you have been sitting on the couch, sort of enjoying, I don't know what you're doing.
I remember I came out of the room.
Oh, that's right. You came out. Sorry, and you cast Silent Image. Okay. Yes, it is your turn. What are you going to do?
Go around this. Go around. Is there a passageway on this northern side?
Yeah, you can get down to the door into the tower.
Okay, I'm going to pass through this way.
Oh, that way. No, you can't get that way. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That is locked. It's not on the northern side. You can come down to this. You could go into the tower or back into the room, but you can't go anywhere else.
I'm going to try to do neither of those things. I'm going to try to scramble back up on top of the wall.
So it's 15 feet. You're going to have to do a sort of climbing strength check.
Okay, well, what about an acrobatics?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you do an acro. Is a halfling?
16.
Yeah, that's fine. You get up there.
Great. And then I'll just, sneak back around, do the catwalk.
Do another stealth check. Okay, you can't get that far, I don't think. Let me see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So, 14, you can get to here.
Okay.
The folks do not see you. They do not see you. They are heavily involved in this. So where you get to is the door. You're looking right down over the mech, the silent image that you... hold on. Let me see. Silent image or mirror image. No, it does not take concentration. So it keeps going. You're looking down over the image down there, and Bart the Basher being hit, the mech hitting it, and you see Magister Thalia with the crossbow at it. Keith, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still looking for cake, so if the door gets through, I'm going to go straight through looking for cake. I'm assuming he broke it through to the cake room.
Well, it's your move first. He does an 11. He has a plus 7. Yep, that gets through the armor class. The door smashes. Slams go away, and you see Magister Thalia, this sort of huge mechanical beast in front of you, and a large core is glowing inside of it. And as soon as it sees you, it sort of puts its hand towards you, and something red starts to glow between it. You see sort of fire revving up, but it's not going to be able to fire it on this turn. Now, Flotsam.
He's working on his murder ballad for everybody but me.
Flotsam,
I don't know,
you're smothered. You did not escape. While you are smothered, you take 10 points of damage.
Okay, I'm dead now.
You're not dead yet. You are unconscious, though. You have gone down to... And you're still smothered. The way this is going to work is if you get below 24 points of negative damage, you will die, and you're also going to have to do death throws. You're now at -6. You're going to do 3... you're going to do a throw each time you are unconscious. If you get below 10, adding your constitution, you move closer to death. If you get above 10, you move closer to consciousness. You have three above 10, you survive. 3 below 10, you die. So give us a death throw. Give us your constitution death save.
That will be a 16 plus 2, 18.
All right, you have 1 moving closer towards survival. Zingadinka, what are you going to do?
That area, Rug.
Have I opened this chest yet?
Oh yeah, you're trying to do the chest. I
Like
forgot.
opening things. Can I suggest a rug?
I do have a small knife. I'll get to that. I gotta find out what's in this chest, though. This is Dr.
Oh.
Yeah, the chest is really time sensitive.
Oh, very time sensitive.
Chest's not going anywhere.
You never know with the
You need to do a dexterity
Awesome,
check.
She will break your heart. You need her to rescue her, but no, she's investigating, and she even put out the secret code, and she will abandon you.
You
Don't
do
open your heart.
You do have proficiency with Thieves' Tools, and you also do have Thieves' Tools. Both of those are very good, but opening anything is going to be a dexterity check with your Thieves' Tools. So, give me your dex, which is +2, and let me know what you get.
12.
A 12?
Yeah.
Alright. As you try to open it, you do not succeed. And what happens instead of you succeeding is that a bolt of lightning shoots out from the chest itself. This lightning bolt is going to do... Give me 1 second. It's 100 feet long and 5 feet wide. And... it is going to do 4d6 damage.
Ooh, woof.
Yeah, you're right. Opening the death chest was the good...
Oh yeah, no.
That has
That's where your heart should be.
doing 10 points of damage total to you. So that's how you spent that turn. Flotsam's unconscious. We're back at Magister Thalia. The mech is aiming a fireball, about to fire at you. What are you going to do?
Well over here either.
Yeah. Well, I held my last action to shoot the crossbow when it broke through. So I think I would have shot it as soon as it went through in the glowing core that looked like a heart or something.
Oh, you're trying to shoot its core.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, you have it aimed, and you sort of had advantage on this through surprise. So I'm going to give you advantage on it.
Okay.
Tell me what you do to try to hit the core of this thing.
Let me see. Well, I got a nat 20, and then that's gonna be 22. That's 31 to hit, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might do it.
You did 31 points of damage?
Damn.
That's 31 to hit.
31 to hit. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's not damage.
made
I wish it was
Might have
damage.
made it.
Jeez.
That is very good, but you're also going to let me know how much damage you do. So, do your crossbow and tell me how much damage you do. 31's pretty good.
Oh no. That's yeah, I think that's just 5. Damn
Now, you do get 2 crossbow attacks. You have 2 weapon attacks.
Right. So okay. So I'll roll to hit again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's a 7.
So you got a 5 and a 7?
The what? No. To hit again. Do I have to roll to hit again?
Oh! No, you don't have to roll to hit again. Just give me damage.
Okay. So then, second damage is gonna be. That's 9 damage.
5 and 9. That's what you got on both of those, right?
Yep.
That is without doubling for the critical 20, correct?
That is without doubling. Yes.
All right. 10 and 18. That gives you a total of 28 points of damage. You have not destroyed it. This thing is powerful, but you have seriously weakened its arcane core. I mean, seriously, it has started to crack at the sides. You have the sense that if you got one more hit, it's immortal. If you had one more hit in its arcane core, which is still running inside this creature, you have the sense it would power down.
I'm gonna action surge and go to hit it again. I will roll to hit again. That's a 13 to hit with action surge.
A 13 to hit. Okay. It does not go through.
No.
Your hit flies off to the side. Now you did get rid of its firebolt, but it runs at you and slams you. That's going to succeed. It rolls a 25, and it does 28 points of damage as it slams into you.
Good. Yeah.
You are lucky you are a magister. You're the only... Anyone else would be dead by now, but you survived. Colker!
Yes.
What you doing?
Okay, I'm continuing to sneak along.
Because you're watching this all, of course.
I'm watching this all, and I'm walking right past it along the top of the wall, heading back towards the catwalk.
I think Colker is a true, pure definition sociopath.
Just a little, a little sociopath. Just, that's fun. Hangs out on the couch while Flotsam dies in a tower.
How do I know Flotsam's dying? He's in another room on another floor.
We did say that you heard some screaming.
Yeah, but I presume it was Bart in his operation.
Could have been anyone.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have no idea what the sound of Flotsam screaming is.
All right.
Is it too repetitive for you? Is that the problem?
Man, if only he would scream with a V section.
I'm giving him an inspiration point for that.
I don't think inspiration's going to help him right now. So, Bart, what is the image of you doing while this is happening?
All right, so the door is open, right?
Yep, door's open now.
And behind the door is Flotsam and the rug?
No, this is a different door. This is a stone door leading into another room. There's a wooden door into the tower that is still closed.
All right, but the big mech thing is there.
Yep, the mech thing is
So
attacking.
I'm gonna look for cake inside the mech thing.
Yeah. There it is.
I think as you're an image, you can just like move inside of it. Yes.
Yeah, no, I want to sort of dig around, see where the cupcakes are.
I'm gonna give the mech disadvantage on its next attack because it would be hard to fight with Bart the Basher's image inside of it. Okay, Flotsam, you take another 10 points of damage. You are now down to negative 16. Let me remind you, if you fall below negative 24, you die. Also, I need another death saving throw from you. Add Constitution.
That will be a 10.
That is good. That is good. You are one step closer to life. Zinc. Well, if you...
Gotta get me out of here.
Someone's got to get you out of here. Or, it just... Tritons do not do well.
Okay, go down to him.
Oh, you're going to go down to him.
I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna cut him out of the rug.
Well, hold on. That's going to
What a
be...
hero.
That chest made me real mad, and I'm gonna firebolt it in a minute. But first, I'm just gonna get Flotsam out because just cut him out of this stupid rug.
Well, let's see. So you're going
Maybe
to...
one click above sociopath.
You're going to get down to this thing. Now, this rug has armor class and hit points and everything. So, what are you going to... you got to attack it first. What are you going to do? How are you going to attack it? It is... And... But I should tell you this, although maybe I shouldn't as the Dungeon Master, but I'm feeling nice and I liked Flotsam's song so much. He is inside of it!
I was gonna say, I was like, well, at first I was just gonna like firebolt it, but he's in the rug, so.
It says, at the start of each, while it is grappling a creature, the rug takes half the damage dealt to it, and the creature grappled by the rug takes the other half of damage.
Oh, brutal. How smart is this rug?
Quote of the
You
night.
do want to use your turn to do a perception check. You can.
Hell, you can
And I could tell you how smart it is, but it will take a perception check.
Goodbye, everybody.
Just do whatever the thing is. Just do whatever the thing is.
Who enchanted the rug?
That's also going to be an arcane check. Arcane. Any of these is going to take...
all of these questions are answered by stabbing it.
Well, Flotsam's gonna die if I do that. So,
Goodbye, everybody.
if I do, okay, to the table. If I do an Arcana check, does the rug answer to a master?
That's what you're going to ask.
I'm gonna ask that.
All right, that's going to take your Arcana check. Go ahead and roll it.
21.
Yes, you have the sense. The rock would answer to Doc Jaymore, the man whose house this is.
Do I know whose house this is?
Yes, you went to this school.
Okay, good. So I know. Okay, good. I know whose house this is.
Natural fears like vacuum cleaners or pet odors.
Or the horrible stench of jellyfish. pits.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run through all the players again. All right. Thalia, you have been slammed by the mech. There is now a clear passage. Well, the mech's in the way, but you could run past it. It would get an opportunity attack, but it has disadvantage, to the door to the tower. Or you can attack the mech, or you can run away, or you can engage with the strange image of Bart.
Yeah, why don't we go have a tea party? No, I'm gonna run past the mech and let it take an opportunity attack on me.
All right. Its disadvantage is a 5. It has a +5, but that's going to give it a 10, which will not get through your plate armor. You successfully run past it while Keith is distracting it, and you get to the wooden door. There is a closed wooden door. You have gone 20 feet. The way movement works is you can do 30 feet plus an attack. So you've gone 20 feet. You can now attack, and then you could move another 10 feet afterwards, or you could use an action to open the door and move another 10 feet afterwards. These are all your options, or perhaps you think of something else you'd like to do.
I Sorry, you were saying I can attack the door, or I can attack the.
You could attack the door or try to open the door.
Is it not? I mean, is it going to take an action for me to try to open it?
It will take an action to open it. Yes.
Okay, I'm guessing it. Well, I don't. I'm going to kick through the door. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to kick through the door. I'm going to attack it just for safe measure.
I'm rubbing off on you.
All right.
Yeah.
Kicking through the door is going to be an unarmed strike, which is +5. Roll that and let me know what you do.
Okay, that's 16.
Okay, and it does 2 points of bludgeoning damage. You get another. You can do 2 actions.
Oh, good. Okay, so I will kick it again. That's another 16.
Okay, the door slams open, and you see a man about to die in a room with a rug attached to him, and you can move 10 more feet.
How far away am I with those 10 feet?
As soon as you come in, you see stairs to your right. Zinc is maybe 5 feet from you, and him in the rug is maybe 15 feet from you.
Okay, if I second wind, can I get to him and try to yank him out of the rug, or is that too many?
No. Second wind can only give you more hit points. The only thing you could have used was action surge, which
second wind gives me a bonus action, right? Doesn't it?
No, second wind. Oh, you use a bonus act. You use one of your bonus actions to regain hit points.
Oh, I use it for healing.
Yeah, that's what second wind does.
All right, fine. Then I'm just there, and I don't think I can do anything. Ah!
You could suggest to Zinc to have done something different retroactively.
Yeah, well, yeah. Would that put your spirit at ease, perhaps? Would that sit well with your gods? I walk in and go, "What the hell's happening?"
I'll sell 1,000,000 albums.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll tell your story.
Publishing rights are worth so much more now that you're dead.
Oh, no. Shoot. Yeah. All right, that's the end of my turn, I think.
Kolker?
I'm gonna hopping back up on the catwalk. Walk, nonchalantly along the catwalk, down, back into the operating room. Hey guys, did I miss anything?
Kolker, I am changing your alignment. You are no longer neutral good. You have clearly moved into chaotic evil.
Because if we just follow Kolker, it's just things like a mech attacking a wall, and me, and people, and Bart, and screaming, and not doing a damn thing. Just
maybe you became shadow touched. Maybe that's what turned you. We don't know, but you
used all those powers for good. Oh my god.
Okay. So the mech now. Keith, what are you doing?
Oh, well, see, the door just got kicked down.
Yes.
And there's a floating blanket filled with a turtle that must have cake inside.
So you're gonna run in there.
I'm gonna go and try and get the cake out of the blanket.
Okay. You run in. The mech also is gonna follow into this room that you go, in which everything has been knocked down. Okay. Let's get this guy over here. So it's 15 to get in. Our mech can move 25 feet. Oh, good. So he doesn't have quite as much feet. He's slow. So he can just sort of get into the room looking at you all. I don't see any way around it, Flotsam. You are at negative 16. This thing does 10 points of damage, and I believe you started with 24. Am I correct? The Triton is killed.
Well, my next Monday night is free now.
How dead is he?
He's dead. I mean, he's dead. I mean,
Oh, now you're interested.
No.
I mean, how dead is he? Like, could a spell bring him back? Is all I'm asking.
More dead than when you arrived, if that's what you're wondering.
You watched him slowly die for about an
If
hour.
anyone knows, you have witnessed the exact amount of dead I have become in the time you have been here.
Appreciating detail. How dead he is.
I had such a good idea for my next turn.
well, it is your turn.
So did I. So did I.
You can use whatever good idea you had.
Well, I mean,
What are you gonna do?
Zombie turtle.
Zombie turtle.
oh wait.
Turn undead.
Oh wait, no, I can't do that. Okay, so I wanted to cast Grease and pull him out of the rug.
Okay. You can do that.
Super dead.
You
That's
can
okay.
do that.
I'll save him, and we'll save him.
Turn his shell into a lute. And
That's
thereby
right.
honoring his musicianship.
All right, I'm gonna cast Grease. Take a little piece of bacon out of my ration kit, and I'm gonna cast Grease straight onto the rug, and try to see if I can slip him out.
Yeah, as you cast Grease, the rug also sort of unconstricts a little bit, and the corpse of this Triton turtle slides out. Sort of slides greasily along the floor. His lyre playing turtle fingers. Dead and broken.
Which will never play another lyre. Guess you're not going to get that bridge after all, huh, Dirtwood?
Yeah. Thalia, what you gonna do? You're now in the room. There is a dead body, an animated rug, and a mech behind you. And stairs going up, and a window.
I mean, is the rug making any moves now that it's not killing our Triton friend?
It's turning towards you, yes.
Ugh. And the mech came up behind us.
Yes, and the mech, you're between the two of them.
Oh, this is great. I'm gonna take a crossbow shot at the rug first because it killed the best bard ever to live. And that's only a. Oh no, that's a. I get a +9 to hit, right? That's a. Math is hard. That's a 17.
A 17, great. How much damage you do? 1d10 plus 3.
11.
Okay, and do one more. Could you get 2 attacks?
Does the rug after that first one look like it is affected by that at all?
Yeah. It went like, it hasn't killed it, but it definitely went through it, and it ripped out a lot of its warp and weave, and it now has holes going through it for sure.
Okay. Okay. That's a 25 to hit. And then 9 damage.
You destroy it. The rug sort of completely goes away at that.
How timely.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Would Magister Thalia at all know about places in the town that we could bring this body?
You would have heard that the Temple of Corellon, the Elven temple, does have a priest who could resurrect or reincarnate.
Then I think
bodies.
then I think I use my movement then to just like sort of post up over his body so that nothing else can maim him.
You're sort of standing over him.
Well, yeah, just making sure that nothing. If we can revivify him, as little damage can happen to his body is the better. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna sort of protect him there. Culker, what are you doing?
Alright. I've got some sort of hang of conscience going on here. So.
Shame works, guys. Shame.
So, I'm gonna head back around towards the tower. And I'm gonna take. No, is the room they're in? Is that up or down, or is that just the room that's the ground floor room?
The ground floor room is the room they're in.
Okay. I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I have no idea what this is gonna do, so pray and throw in one of the red balls that I took.
Alright, there is a mech right in front of you, and
before I do that, I just want to say, I promise you guys that you will at least not be any worse off than you are now.
Based on...
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Are you throwing it at the mech or just sort of in the center of the room?
I'm gonna throw it at the mech.
At the mech? Alright. Let's see. You throw this in. A bright streak flashes from you as soon as it leaves your hand, and it roars into an explosion of flame. Let's see just where we are here. Each creature in a 20-foot radius must make a dexterity saving throw. 5, 10, 15, yep. Oh, you're over on him. Nope, it's Zinc. Zinc, you need to do a dex saving throw for me.
Can I just use my springy knees?
You mean to try to jump out of the way of this thing? Well,
Yeah.
you can try, but you're going to have to succeed on a dex throw to do it.
Okay, let's try the dex throw.
Now, you have a +2 dexterity, so it's already pretty good.
Yeah, 21.
21. All right, great. You are going to take, let's see. You are going to take 2. You're going to take 7 points of damage on that, which takes you from 14 hit points down to 7 hit points. So you successfully sort of jump up onto the steps, but this huge 20-foot range of fireball explodes. The the one itself, though, the mech is going to take. Let's see, for a second. Is going to take 8d6 of damage. That is 19 damage this thing is going to take. You destroy the core. You don't destroy it, but the mech sort of slumps over and the core is destroyed. Alright. What are you gonna do? Thalia and Zink.
Saves the day.
Are we out of initiative order at this point?
Yep, you're out of initiative order because both the creatures have been defeated.
Okay, I think I'm going to grab Flotsam's poor, sad little body. I'm going to look at Zink and go, we were waiting for you. This whole time we were waiting for you. We needed you, and you weren't there. How dare you? Just tears crying. I loved this bard. I'm a bard. I loved this bard. I'm going to throw his body over my shoulder and say, you know more about this than I do. Meet up with Kolker. Bart surgery should be done soon. I'm going to take him to the temple and run out.
Are you jumping out the window's too small for you?
Why would I jump out the window? No, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna jump through the grate into the sewers? Are you gonna run?
I was gonna leave out the front door. Is that not an option?
No, that's an option.
Okay. I think
Bard, and now he's a shell of his former self.
I think I'm gonna. They know more than I do anyway about this situation. So I'm gonna. I'm gonna run with him to the temple, I think. Yeah.
Okay. You take him to the temple. Zink, what are you doing? And Kolker.
I mean, she's not wrong. We were waiting for you.
And you know what? You were here on time, in fact.
Oh, hey, can you read this? And I show Zink the note that I stole from you.
Zink, he has a note for you. You read Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Gnomish, and Triton, and it is in none of those languages.
Do I know what language it's in?
Do an Arcana check.
Oh, 10.
Is that with your +5?
Yeah.
No, you can't identify it.
I guess not.
No. Well, hold on to it, because
Well, yeah, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just rolling it up and back
Doc
to that.
Chainmore probably has something around here that we can use. Can I go back up to that chest and use my little keyhole to just look into it?
Yes, you can. So, you go back to the room. Again, there is a chair, a desk with some letters on it, a bed, and a chest. You go into a chest, and you can use your keyhole ring to see inside of it. What you see when you look inside of it are several bottles of potions, plus some gold pieces and some gems.
Okay, those would be nice later. Can I look at the...
I mean, you can't identify. They could be poisons, they could be potions, they could be, insanity mist, they could be healing. You can just tell that there are several bottles.
Okay.
Like,
What are can I look at the letters on the desk?
You can look at the letters on the desk. On the desk, there is a letter in Chainmore's handwriting, which reads, "To the war." Oh, it's in Dwarven. You speak Dwarven, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in Dwarven. It says, "To the War Council. Hergwar has intelligence far beyond his goblin brethren, and a powerful army. I've no doubt that he can take the city and weaken the elven nation. Bloodtusk, however, is mad. His ramblings insane, and his troop of goblins mutated beyond nature's laws. I worry about his methods and his madness." There is a seal, a signet ring, and wax beside it. This has not been sealed yet, and it seems unfinished.
Interesting. Anything else interesting in the room?
Nope, that's it.
I'm gonna take this down to show Kolker.
Okay.
Because I'm curious as to, because Doc Chainmore was kind of like, he was sort of like mad, like he seemed like mad with power.
Mm-hmm.
And now he has this letter of concern.
Okay, you go down to where Kolker was. As you get down to where Kolker was, you're gonna see in the Coker, where did you go when Zink left you?
I will tell you in 1 second as soon as I figure that out. When Zink left me, I headed back around towards the operating room.
All right, so you go into the operating room. As soon as you get into the operating room, they say, "We are done!" And Bart the Basher stands up. One thing you would notice about him is he now has a large prosthetic sort of warhammer. It's like a prosthetic arm, but the warhammer at the end coming out of his back.
Yes!
Like straight over like a scorpion, or hanging over one side.
No, like straight over like a scorpion.
Okay.
Super bash.
So in other words, he's got a hammer perfectly situated to hit himself in the face.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Only if I roll a 1. I got a lot of other numbers I can hit you, fart.
Do you wish to say anything?
I don't know. I think you look pretty good.
Thank you. I look amazing. Look at my 3rd arm. I want to bash something just to try it out.
He's not even pointing to the prosthetic when he says his 3rd arm.
Yeah, that one was already noticeable. Because I threw my underwear at the turtle.
Speaking of which, Turtle Dude is dead.
Oh, you're gonna get some bad news.
No!
But don't worry, I think Thalia took him over to upgrade his condition to alive.
Turtle guy, how did he die? How did we possibly let him die? What horrible thing has transpired while I was in surgery?
I don't know. He was already dead. He was already dead when I got in the room, but I did see a suspiciously beaten-on rug.
Surely, there was no possible way to save him, right?
I wasn't able to. Like I said, he was already dead when I got there.
Zink is whistling to himself, just kind of.
I'm so sorry that I know you all must have thrown yourselves in harm's way to try to save the turtle. I don't know how you possibly made it. Oh boy, you guys, I'm so sorry for the trauma that you've gone through, just putting your life at harm, racing and doing nothing but trying to save our fallen. Oh, it must have been so hard for you to give everything.
Are you having this conversation in the operating room?
Yeah.
The other artificers. First they say, "Zink, why are you here? You were expelled." And then that's your friend Preston who says that. Your other friend Sparkcoil, a little redhead who's drunk, says, "Flotsam is dead!" And she clutches the signed loot pick that he gave her and comes to a mess on the floor crying. And your friend from the northern region says, "Did you say that you attacked something in Duck Chain? You are never supposed to go in Duck Chain's room. We are all going to get kicked out if you do not leave now, right now."
Okay. Let's go and mourn poor Flotsam with wine and bashing.
I think that's a good place to end for tonight. When we will pick up next week. Flotsam, you can be with us for one more week. We will see what happens with the Corellin. I do want to warn you, those of you who have lived here, knows that he's better at reincarnation than he is at resurrection. So you might not come back as a Triton at all.
It's okay. I got D10s marked for D100. So I can roll out whatever random thing you have for me.
I can't wait to see the songs that come out of this experience.
Maybe
Oh yeah. Some people are gonna get some real interesting songs.
yes.
All right, guys. Thank you all, and I will see you next Monday. And thanks for those who watched on Twitch. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.